Sports, brought to you by Access Communications. Trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Be a part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The all-new Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Sports Cage. 3 hours coming at you, like the big voice said, for Access Communications. Sharky is going to be here. Sharky Nation, don't worry. He's caught up in traffic. He's a little busy. So Sharky's going to be joining us in probably hour 2, maybe a bit before. What a show today. It's one of those days, fellas, right? Where we got everything planned out, where we got everything buttoned up, and then boom. Justin Dunk, 3 Down Nation, comes out. We're going to bring him on here momentarily, but Trevor Harris re-signing with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So then we juggle. Now we juggle. What else we got going for you today? How about a little Canadian country music star, Brett Kissel, is going to be joining us in studio in about 30 minutes' time. Big Edmonton Oiler fan, hockey guy. His dad played senior hockey. So Kissel's going to be in here. Hour 2, Arash Madani comes in. Well, Arash will want to chat about the new signing for the Riders. Also, NHL legend, goaltender, was in town speaking. Greg Millen, now broadcaster. Greg Millen's going to come in. I'm sure he's going to have some awesome stories as well. Hour 3, we will go with Glen Suitor. Sharky and I are going to talk Four Nations Cup. And I got a little nugget for you. We're efforting it right now. Curtis has built what the Russian team would look like possibly at the Four Nations Cup. So much more. We're going to have a lot of fun. Alan's here, Curtis is here, and Colson is here. But let's go Western Pizza Hotline right now. Perfect for that Christmas party. The potluck, you got to figure out something for. Grab some Western Zaw. Grab some ribs. Or then the $25 gift exchange. Perfect. Western Pizza. Joining us, there you see him. A couple of hoodie guys here today. Justin Dunk joining us. Justin, you broke the story. Trevor Harris staying with the green and white. In all seriousness, what were you like, 90%, 80% that this was going to happen again?
Yeah, I think what it came down to, Barney, was just the fact of Trevor Harris wanting to play football. And after that was confirmed, then it seemed like all of that was going to line up. I do have to say, though, isn't it called a bunny hug in Saskatchewan?
Oh, there we go. Sasky chime in. Yeah, it is. It is a bunny hug. Yeah, we'll go bunny hug. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, but he wants to play. He wanted to be here. It sounded like when we were talking, they wanted him back. You know, Jeremy O'Day talked about he didn't even kick tires on VA. So then it's like, okay, logical. It's Trevor Harris back with the green and white, and that's what we get today.
That spoke volumes to me when O'Day, as you mentioned, divulged that he didn't even make a call to the BC Lions when Vernon Adams Jr. became available for a potential trade after the season. And I think some of the reasons for that have to do a lot with continuity. And you know what you're getting from Trevor Harris. He's very consistent, whereas Vernon Adams Jr., all due respect, I think he would agree to this too, has gone through a maturation process in his career, is at a better place. But Trevor Harris now has a year with Mark Mueller, the offensive coordinator. You know, Mark Mueller was a person of interest for the BC Lions in their head coaching position, but it didn't go any further than the Lions asking for permission to interview him because he's just settled his family there in Regina after being in Calgary. So you have continuity with your quarterback, your offensive coordinator, your head coach in Corey Mace, and Jeremy O'Day is a big fan, as he said publicly and also behind the scenes, of Trevor Harris. And I think people got to wipe away this idea. I'm not even going to say some of the stuff I've seen online, but that he's too old. Trevor Harris operated at an extremely high level coming back from that knee injury at the end of last season.
You talk about continuity with everybody there, but also the continuity now, okay, with the offensive line, like what we saw this year with guys in and out and all, and then with the receivers, right? So now they're starting, it feels like 12 months ahead already with the whole kind of the bands back together.
Definitely. You look at our pending free agent list on 3downnation.com, or it's on sportscage.com as well, and you see that like all of the key receivers are already signed for next year, Barney. And then you look at the offensive line, and yes, there are some pieces to bring back there, but you're right. You have a consistent core now on offense that you can build with. And I think that sets this team up for success more than potentially going out and getting another quarterback. So let's just kill a couple things right away, okay? Because there's been a lot of chatter about, well, why didn't the Riders go get Cody Fajardo? That's never going to happen again, okay? They're divorced for good, never getting back together. All due respect to Cody Fajardo. And some people have talked about, well, why not potentially go get Canadian quarterback Trey Ford, who I'm a big fan of, but he still needs to realize his upside. And if you're the Riders, you're playing a dangerous game there, because you would have to either trade for Trey Ford or wait until he's potentially a free agent in February. I think this is the proper move for Saskatchewan at this point in time to have the best chance to win in 2025, which your Riders would like to do in the Bombers Stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, take our bunny hugs into Winnipeg. The other thing here, though, Justin, too, is it's almost like Trey Ford, and talking to Dustin Nielsen on Monday, if maybe Cody Fajardo ends up there, is that really a good thing? Just like if like a Fajardo, which you squashed it, we're not going to see the Affleck J-Lo thing getting back together, but you don't want the guy where Trevor maybe sputters, has a couple of bad quarters and all that, and then everybody's calling for bring in Fajardo, right? Like there's that piece to it too. Just let the guy play. Yeah, it is a 2-quarterback league, as we're seeing, really. Like you need somebody serviceable that can step in. But where do you think this puts Shea Patterson now?
That's a great question. That's kind of where I wanted to go to next. So we're mind melded here with our bunny hugs. And I think that the key decision that's going to come here has to do with Jake Maier. He's been with Mark Mueller in the past in Calgary, and you talk to people around the league, and Jake Maier dealt with a less than ideal situation, I'll say, to be nice, in terms of the last couple seasons with the Calgary Stampeders, and especially the last season. So I think if you get Jake Maier back with Mark Mueller, and he kind of goes through this year of rehabilitation, let's see where he's at and where Trevor Harris is at after the 2025 season. I would like to see, some progression from Jake Maier. I would like to see him, people talk about his body and being more committed, and I don't want to kind of go down that road because I think it's disrespectful, but I think if we saw a more slim and trim Jake Maier, let's put it that way, that he could have some upside. He's still young, man. He's well under 30 in this league. And if he gets into an offense with Mueller that he's comfortable with, and we all know Mark Mueller can be pretty persuasive, then I think that would be a great combo for the Riders. No disrespect to Shea Patterson, but I think there's more upside there with Maier. And a lot of people within the Riders building are excited about Jack Cohn. So you have that third guy developing as well.
I was going to say the sell job, right? And Mueller and the coaching staff as a whole, they seem to be doing that. Terms not released on this, just 1-year deal, which I think everyone would say, yeah, that was the play. Do you think we will hear about the terms at some point here in the short term?
I don't know about short term, but, if I get them, they'll certainly be out there. I can tell you specifically, Barney, that Trevor Harris made $491,000 last season. The season before, he made $500,000. This contract is going to be below that. And I think that makes sense for both sides. When you look at it from the Riders side, they're going to say, well, we've paid you, let's just call it $1 million essentially before taxes for the last couple of years. And how many starts have you had, with all due respect? Right. And I don't think that he's an injury prone quarterback. I think those are freak accidents. So then, on Trevor Harris's side, he's going to say, well, I potentially played the best ball of my career at the end of the season. And we had a shot, some things went our way a little differently in the West Finals to get to the Grey Cup. So you kind of meet in the middle there. So I think that's where that contract's going to shake out. But I can tell you for sure it's less than $500,000.
What do you think the next piece to fall is in Rider Nation as far as free agents signing?
The biggest one to me, all due respect to Marcus Sales, who was a CFL All-Star at that cornerback spot, has to be Jameer Thurman. the heart and soul of that defense. He has that relationship with Corey Mace going back to their time at the Calgary Stampeders. I think that needs to be the focus. You get your offensive leader in Trevor Harris re-signed. Now I think you need to allot any potential salary cap dollars that you have left over in 2024 to getting Jameer Thurman under contract. And even if you don't have any money left on this year's salary cap, get that guy under contract to make sure you have your defensive leader back.
Big news, like you said, it's all on sportscage.com. Broke earlier today by Justin Dunk. Justin, thanks for in the short notice here to hop on and get this done.
You bet, fellas. Thanks for having me on.
Justin Dunk, our guy on the scene. And let's be honest, people, right? Like, we kind of figured that was the play. We're excited. I know there's going to be some haters online. They're going to be dropping their chatter, but Harris is back. It's what we needed. And then, like Justin said, right? Who's the number 2 guy? That'll be interesting. Let's take a quick break. You are watching the all-new Sports Cage at sportscage.com and listening on the home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 620 CKRM.
The all-new Sports Cage is brought to you by Sherwood Co-op, proud supporter of our community with over 500 donations to local charities and nonprofits annually.
The Country Music Rewind with Colin Lovequist.
We'll look back at some of the big shakers and movers of the country music scene. Some cats reinvented themselves. Others, they did what works for them the best. We'll feature the top 25 on your Country Music Rewind.
The Country Music Rewind with Colin Lovequist. Brought to you by Crawford's No Frills. Saturday afternoons at 4 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on Country's Greatest Hits. 620 CKRM. 620 CKRM on location.
I give it top marks.
An A+.
It's a 10 out of 10 for sure.
The $10 sale is on now.
At Sherwood Co-op Food Stores.
Offering more local products than any other grocery store.
And for this week only,
the brands your family craves at amazing stock your pantry prices.
Like $10 a pound.
2 items for $10.
5 items for $10.
Or an amazing 10 items for $10.
Stock your pantry. Save your cash.
The $10 sale on now till Wednesday.
We are members.
We are owners.
We are Sherwood Co-op. This is Kathy Ingram, Director of Finance and Development for Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. And as Christmas approaches, we desperately need your help. The need for our programs and the cost of our programs has increased dramatically. And now with the postal strike, our financial donations have decreased as well. This holiday season, please help us help those in need. Donate online at shrmsk.com, via phone at 306-543-2475, or in person at 1650 Angus Street, Regina. Thank you.
The Husqvarna Season of Savings deals is on until December 7th at Prairieland Rental. Get deals on select Husqvarna items, including snowblowers with up to $400 off. Shop where the contractors shop, and you know you're dealing with local experts. And at Prairieland, you deal directly with the owner. They appreciate your local business, and they've got everything you need for your projects. They'll even deliver. The Husqvarna Season of Savings deals until December 7th. Prairieland Rental, 600 Albert Street, prairielandrental.com.
0% financing on Bronco Sport, 0% financing on Ford F-150, 0% financing on Ford Escapes. You see the trend here? Future Ford has 0% financing on their huge selection of new vehicles. The 2024 has to go, and they need to make sure they have room for all the 25s they have coming. I know what you're thinking. 0%? What else can you do? How about free oil changes at any Ford dealership in Canada and half-price extended warranty? Check out their inventory at futureford.ca or visit them at Future Ford in Melville today.
620 CKRM on location.
I'm here now. I was busy yapping about football just a moment ago. Big Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions game tonight. And, you know, if you've always wanted to go on an NFL sports trip with your buddies, or maybe a Major League Baseball trip with your buddies, one of those dream sports trips, well, I'll tell you, $100,000 could make that dream become reality. And that's the grand prize here in the Yorkton Exhibition Cash Lottery. Now, one ticket is $100, a 3-pack for $250. There's going to be a whole bunch of prizes that will be drawn for on Monday. 26 chances to win in this lottery. 10 draws of $500, 14 draws of $1,000. Then they do that big one for $100,000. You could travel all over the United States and Canada to watch your favorite football, baseball, or hockey team. So there you go. Give us a call. 1-866-783-4800. 1-866-783-4800.
Merry Christmas from all of us at Last Mountain Distillery, Saskatchewan's original micro distillery. We invite you to visit us in Lumsden for exclusive holiday products. Enjoy our hazelnut cream liqueur, salted caramel whiskey, and our chocolate hazelnut truffle. If you can't make it out to Lumsden, please visit your local retailer and ask for our award-winning, crisp, clean Last Mountain Distillery vodka. For more information, visit us at lastmountaindistillery.com. Thank you for spending your hard-earned money with us, and enjoy your holiday season.
Double R Auctioneering is conducting an online antique and collector's auction. This auction includes HO scale model trains, antique toys, clocks, straight razors, telephones, pop bottles, Peter Wright anvils, cast iron items, antique tools, shaving mirrors, coal oil lamps, 33, 45, and 78 RPM records, cameras, glassware, steins, stoneware, tins, manuals, and a whole lot more. The sale is on now and closes Monday, December 9th, starting at 10 a.m. Check it out, register, and bid online at RRauctions.net. That's RRauctions.net.
Welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Connect with the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262.
Welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Big news. We heard it from Justin Dunk. The Riders re-signing Trevor Harris. We'll probably play that Dunk interview again in hour 3 if you missed it. If not, you can just go back and listen to it in podcast form. You can watch it, of course, on the YouTube link. Not much hockey-wise going on in the area tonight. Last night, Melfort was 5-1 over Estevan in the SJ. Our Regina Pats on that crazy road trip in BC, they dumped Vancouver 5-3. They were outshot 41-26. Kelton Pine again in the pipes. Unreal job. 38 saves. And also a shout out to Connor Bear. 2 assists and a +4 rating on the night, so they're back in action tomorrow. AAA Midget League, nothing going on, and senior, nothing in the area this evening. Davidson 6-5 over Loreburn last night in the Sask Valley. Senior hockey in general. Let's go. He's in studio, so it's not the Western Pizza guest hotline. He's playing a show tonight at Casino Regina. Brett Kissel, second time on the Sports Cage since I've been doing this. You're back in Regina. The weather's breaking for you too.
I'm so grateful because I don't know if I'm getting softer now, but man, this Saskatchewan cold that we had, it was -33 in Saskatoon yesterday, and it just sucked. It just puts a guy in a bad mood. The only time I like being out in the cold like that, and I feel like I'm a real tough guy, is if I'm out ice fishing. If I'm doing something like that, but if I'm just walking down the streets of Regina or Saskatoon and a -33 wind chill is just going right through my vest, it's not that fun, but I'm still grateful that I get to be back here in the studio with you guys.
Are you ice fishing guy in a shack, or you go old school just...
Well, it all depends. I mean, if you're just there to have a couple drinks with the boys and cook a couple hot dogs on the stove, I'm all about that. If you're going to catch some big pike, and just wait for some big guys to come along. But I love to perch fish, so you kind of have to go chase fish. So I love to sit on a 5-gallon pail, just hold the spool right in the tip of the crease of my finger, and just a little shake like I got Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or whatever. You just give the Parkinson shake there, as my grandpa calls it, and then boom, you get some big fish.
That's awesome. Okay, let's talk hockey.
Sure.
Right. Let's go first off. Four Nations Cup.
Yeah. What do you think? I'm sure you've had a chance to talk about it a little bit. Everybody's got an opinion, and social media is just blowing up right now with people who are excited, but I would say 75% of the people are just roasting this list.
There was always going to be that in Canada, right?
Yes.
There's always something. I love. I think the Americans are big up front, and they're going to be greasy, and that's going to be hard. So they're going to need some guys to lean on them there, and that's what they got, right? When you look at the Bennetts, the Parenko, no one thought that was maybe going to come through. Morrissey, Marchand, obviously, just always disturbing things. Reinhart. The goaltending, though, and your dad, when we talked before, your dad was an old goaltender, right? Aiden Hill, Binnington, I thought Thompson was going to get maybe the call, or as a sentimental pick, Marc-Andre Fleury.
I said that on the bus today. And here's the thing is that we know that our goaltending isn't strong in terms of stats, in terms of a big name and a big draw and stuff like that. Okay, I get it. But at the same time, Jordan Binnington, 2019, St. Louis Blues, nobody ever heard of him. Aiden Hill beat my Edmonton Oilers, and he was, the 6th goalie that they went through that year because Laurent Brossoit was filling in because Robert and Leonard had gone down and everything like that. So all of these guys are capable. And I would have loved to see Marc-Andre Fleury because of the sentimentality, especially if it's going to be the 3rd goalie anyways.
Yeah.
But you never know. Give him a little bit of ice time and he could steal a game and it could be this beautiful story, which I'm a big sentimental guy. I'm not saying that I'm like this Disney guy that wants it to be like, the Mighty Ducks. But that would have been great to see. But we don't have a name like Connor Hellebuyck. We don't have a name like, some of the big time guys that are going to be playing in Finland as well as Sweden. But Binnington or Aiden Hill could get hot.
Oh, absolutely.
And if they get hot, then what does it matter?
I feel like we were talking about it on the show on Tuesday, and I said, let's remember these guys are good. Like, it's not like we're pulling a guy from Adult Safe Division D division. Yeah. Hey, getting in there and playing for us. These guys are pros.
Hey, David Harris won a hockey game, number 42. He's 40 years old, and when he filled in, like anybody can win a hockey game, especially if you're playing like a team out front. And so if these guys are coached well, and if everybody's doing exactly what they need to do, and Connor McDavid, this is his first real opportunity for international play. If Connor McDavid does Connor McDavid things with a golden goal moment like Sidney Crosby and just takes the team on his back, we have a chance here. We're not out of the running. Canada is supposed to win, and I sure hope we do.
I think a lot of people today are talking about they're not taking Bedard, right? Regina tied to Bedard, and then even Celebrini to an extent, like those young guys. You know what? Italy's going to be 12 months away when they do this. Will one of those young guys be there? Probably, but Bedard hasn't had a good season. And they're building for now, and maybe it sends a little message to be like, hey, nothing's given.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a great reputation in the league, and I'm sure, everybody respects him and respects what he's capable of. But here's the thing, when you're a smaller player too, like Marty St. Louis, I remember when he got shafted that year from his own, Stevie Y, right?
Yeah.
That year going into, I don't know if it was the Olympics or World Cup of Hockey or whatever it was, that was the fire under Marty St. Louis. That caused him to have such an extraordinary season. Now, that is many years ago now. So you're right, that's going to light a fire under number 98. And without a shadow of a doubt, you watch as they go into Olympics and any other international play. He wanted to play there. He wanted to be either on a line or in the dressing room with Crosby and McDavid and to be in the exact same category and conversation. And the fact that he isn't, there's no doubt he's going to be playing mean hockey now.
I don't know how none of us know really how the lines are going to go down, and they're going to change all that as they go along. Yeah, have a sip of your tea. I know.
She's a little raspy right now, but
no, it's good. But when you talk about Connor McDavid, and I think at some point we're going to see McDavid and McKinnon on the same line, and that speed and agility, and then people are talking. You put Braden Point in there, who can fly. A lot of these guys. That's going to be something we've never seen.
If we see that would be, that would be epic. It really would be. The power play, you're going to see that on the power play, but each of these guys needs to be strong enough, to obviously center their own lines. And I think that we might see McDavid and Crosby spend some time because Crosby's such an expert playmaker and he's so smart. His hockey IQ is the highest maybe anybody's ever seen. One hot take that I will say,
here we go,
that was very interesting is that even though he's not had a good season, I thought without a shadow of a doubt, because McDavid is the best player, in the world, that they would have brought Hyman to play with McDavid. And I'm surprised that they didn't do that. And McDavid, it's different, but when Chris Kunitz was added to all these Olympic teams,
Regina boy,
it was just because he was going to be playing with Crosby. Now, Kunitz contributed, He was not an afterthought, or no one was like raising their eyebrows. They just knew you're bringing the line mate for your best player because there's some immediate chemistry there. The fact that Hyman wasn't brought in, I know he was a consideration, but I'm hoping that we can get some chemistry.
He's injured. He's and he's coming back. I don't know if he is back for the Oilers, but the thing is, and they mentioned this, and for all the teams, like there's still a lot of hockey to be played until this thing.
True.
So I don't think there's any guys really burning bridges. They probably said, hey, if something happens, you're next up.
True.
Which Hyman could be. Here's another, not really a hot take, a thing I learned yesterday. I was texting with a buddy from Finland.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, you're rostered. He goes, good in goaltending, good up front. And then he dropped this on me. He goes, we only have 8 defensemen playing in the NHL, and we're taking 7.
I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
Very interesting.
So that,
wow.
After that, they got to go AHL.
True.
Or something, which, this being an NHL thing.
Oh, so it's got to be NHL, so they can't go to the Elite League, correct?
I don't know, but I think NHL PA is involved in this and all that, so I don't know the ins and outs. Okay, let's go to the show this evening. It's an acoustic with a couple other guys. Like, what are people going to see? Because there's only like 30 tickets left.
Yeah, so I think we got 15 pairs left. So, I mean, if anybody's listening right now to the Sports Cage, please, come on down and experience the show. I'm really proud of it and how it's morphed, since we started in late October. For me, we don't just take it show by show. We really take it moment by moment. It is an acoustic show, but I've got basically a master set list of songs that I can draw from, but I have no idea what the crowd is going to give me tonight. So I think it's insensitive and it's inappropriate as an artist and as an entertainer to just have a set list and this is what I'm going to do, take it or leave it. I've never liked those kind of guys or those kind of shows, because what if there's a special moment that I can really draw on and get everybody in the palm of my hand? Or what if it's a Thursday, no one cares to go to work tomorrow, and everybody's like, screw it, we're going to party all night long. Okay, well then I know I need to turn up the volume and I need to, take everybody in a different direction. So the Side You've Never Seen tour is exactly about that. It's as much about the songs as it is about the stories too.
I hope you got a lot of tea on hand if we do that. Is there any Christmas flavor to? If someone throws out, "Hey, play Dolly and Kenny," or Christmas.
Well, I probably would. I'd love to play a little "I'll Be Home with Bells On." That's my favorite record.
Is it?
100%.
Hard Candy Christmas. I joked about it on the show. I'm like, John Lennon, Imagine, great, but Hard Candy Christmas, like.
I love that you say that. I'm sure your text line is going to light up. But I love that record, and if people want a little bit of Christmas, why not?
When you're on the road and you're busy, right? Like you're in Saskatoon yesterday. From here, you're going to Watrous, to Danceland.
Yeah, we're gonna go play that big hall.
I was looking up actually if there was a senior hockey game that night. The Winterhawks aren't in town, so you'll be the big show in town for sure.
Well, that would have been so cool if some way somehow I would have been able to go and watch or maybe sing an anthem or something.
Oh, heads up!
I've done that a time or two.
Sasky, heads up. Do you like? Because you're on the road and like you're drinking the tea and it's got to be so grueling. Do you train at all? Like, what do you?
No, it's rest. Rest for the vocals. Without a doubt, like I've learned over time, like where I'm at right now in the rasp, like I know the timing. Like I'm going to hit the stage at 8 or 8:30, so I've got now about 5 hours to get ready and to get prepped, which means low humming, drinking a lot of tea. And then after this conversation, like I'm not going to talk. Just simply not going to talk until it's time for the show. And then your singing voice, for whatever reason, is so much different than your talking voice. I could talk raspy, but then start singing like a bird. So I'm not that worried.
Wow.
It's about if I can't talk or if I can't even, squeak something out. But it's just because my voice is tired.
People are going to want to get into hockey talk, Four Nations talk. And the Casino Regina is an awesome venue.
What a great venue.
Right, the last time we saw you, it was at Connexus Arts Center, which is an awesome venue. My daughter's pissed. I'm like, I'm interviewing Brett Kissel. You met her. She's 11.
Yeah,
they're at Taylor Swift.
It's good that they're there. That's totally fine. That's a great place to be, and what an extraordinary tour that is.
Isn't it?
That has as much hype in our generation of 2024, this Eras tour, as I swear to you, my opinion is like Woodstock. Like if you were around and said, I went to Woodstock in 1969, that's similar to being like, I went to the Eras tour.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a big cultural thing, in the world right now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Thanks so much for stopping in and doing this.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and we'll do this again for sure. Let's see how this all plays out hockey-wise. And
yeah, it's going to be great. I love that they're doing it. I really, really do. And I feel that Canada has every reason to win the gold medal, and I hope they do. I'm going to be going to watch a couple of games for sure.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I specifically told my agent I'm not booking shows. I'm going to start
Montreal or Boston.
I want to go to both.
Yeah.
I want to go to both for sure.
I had Eric Francis. He was supposed to send me a link for pre-tickets, and he never did. Francis, what a guy. Yeah. Again, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I hope everybody has a great rest of their afternoon. We'll see you at the show tonight.
Go see him at Casino Regina, or the Watchers one sold out, the Danceland?
Yeah, that's sold out.
Might be a few. Is it when they put the stage up? No, the stage is there. It's like they always release a few.
Yeah, they kind of did. That's why we got these 30 left for Regina. But yeah, we're playing in Melfort. We're playing in Yorkton, Prince Albert. So we're doing a big Saskatchewan tour. Go to brettkissel.com for all your tickets.
That is awesome. Sasky love for Brett Kissel. It is the all-new Sportscage. You're watching that stream. You see him. That was a good interview. Sportscage.com. And as always, we are on the home of sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM on location.
Speaking of some Sasky love, how about we show some love here in Yorkton for the Yorkton exhibition? Cash lottery, $100,000 is what's on the line here. The Yorkton Exhibition Association, they do a huge amount for this area of Saskatchewan and for all of Saskatchewan. They've got the big fair in the summertime that thousands and thousands of kids have been to. They've got the Harvest Showdown where thousands of people congregate each and every fall. It is a big deal here in East Central Saskatchewan. They're looking to expand, but they're almost out of space, so it's time to start looking at revitalizing some of the projects here that the Yorkton Exhibition has. They've just rebuilt their grandstand. They're still paying that off. So give us a call here, because when you buy a ticket, you're supporting that, but you just might be supporting your own bank account with $100,000 Monday afternoon. 1-866-783-4800, 1-866-783-4800.
Winter can bring the toughest of times for families, and the Regina Food Bank would like you to help our community this holiday season. The holidays ignite the giving spirit in our souls. We know that now is the time to give. With our Hampers of Hope, as little as $1 can provide 3 meals for someone in need. Neighbors feeding neighbors. It's what the holiday spirit is all about. Please donate today at reginafoodbank.ca. Be the reason a family celebrates this year.
There's nothing quite like the Christmas season to bring out the best in everyone. Bronco Plumbing and Heating would like to wish one and all a very safe and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from the management and staff at Bronco Plumbing and Heating in Emerald Park.
For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Merry Christmas from the Regina Catholic School Division, rcsd.ca.
Wrap up your holiday shopping with the perfect gift from the Winter Savings Sale, on now at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Cozy up their home with up to 40% off White River Home bedding, blankets, or throws. And bring the kids to meet Santa Claus and get a free photo with the legend himself. Reservations can be made up to 7 days in advance. Ends December 24th. Spread Christmas cheer with amazing gifts from the Winter Savings Sale, on now at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. See online for more details.
Everyone at Freeze Tallman would like to wish you and yours happy holidays. We hope you build a mountain of holiday memories, and remember that time with friends and family is the foundation of the holidays. So don't ever cut a chance to celebrate with loved ones short, even if you'd rather lumber off to bed. We hope this holiday season is the best one you ever saw. Happy holidays from Freeze Tallman in Regina and Fort Qu'Appelle. Let's get you building.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when... Uh-oh.
There are some things that can get spoiled. A sunny day, maybe.
Aw, and no umbrella or anything.
And then there's Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer, where they have all the top-of-the-line smartphones with all the latest features. With such a wide selection and so many great plans, nothing can spoil it.
Yay, rain!
Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel. EchoSound.ca.
There's Sunday Fun Day, Manic Monday, and now Burrito Thursday.
That doesn't even rhyme or use alliteration.
Well, it's buy one burrito, get a second one half off at all Regina Taco Time locations.
The all-new Sportscage is live streaming from our Century Studios in downtown Regina. Watch now at sportscage.com. Be part of the show by texting 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
If you missed that one, you can go back and listen to it. Always awesome to talk to Brett Kissel. What a nice guy. And what you heard there, that's him. There's no phony baloney putting it on. That is him. He loves talking hockey, as you heard. Massive Edmonton Oiler fan. The NFL tonight, Green Bay and Detroit. The NFL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse with Thursday Night Football and your chance to win a trip to an NFL home opener of your choice. $1 off tankards of Bud Light and Budweiser tonight. All the details at CanadianBrewhouse.com. Will be a great place to watch that game. I was looking at the line, and I know it's the most talked about probably Thursday nighter so far this year. So we got Green Bay is a 3-point underdog in Detroit. Over under 52. So just getting that off Cool Bet. The line hasn't changed for a while, so obviously it's probably going to stay the same. We'll get into that a little bit more as we go along. Line just moved. 3.5 favorite are the Detroit Lions at home tonight against Green Bay. So all you Packer fans, how confident are you feeling? Cheeseheads. It is in Detroit. Controlled environment too as well. Always get in on the chat, whatever we got going on here in the Capital Ford Lincoln text line, 306-936-6262. Capital Ford Lincoln, Saskatchewan's #1 Ford retailer. We were talking with Brett there, and he's touring around. He's going to Watrous, Danceland, and Manitou Beach. I call it Watrous. Sorry, everyone in Manitou Beach. And then he's got some Yorkton there, Melfort, Prince Albert, all around. So he's hitting towns with a lot of hockey. Like you said, he's been known to sing an anthem or two. SJHL last night, it was Melfort 5-1 over Estevan. Full slate tomorrow. You can go to sportscage.com and see the power rankings and everything going on in the SJ. Melfort Mustangs are still the #1 team. So Benny Walchuk had on, I don't know if it's on sportscage.com yet, but it was on Twitter. This one is tough. All you Melville Millionaires fans out there, they lost their leading scorer to the Brooks Bandits. And with all the, I'm just going to pull it up here, make sure everything's so good. With all the talk about the BCHL, which is where the Bandits play, losing players to the WHL, now it's going the other way as well, where teams are losing players to the BCHL, which is Brooks is in there. Brooks has always been a power. We know that. And so unfortunate news for the Melville Millionaires, as that'll be tough. Caden Drury is off to the Brooks Bandits. And I don't know exactly, but I think it kind of sounded like it was a midnight move. So Benny's going to have to give us the 411 as things become available there. SJHL report on Tuesday for Southie Mainline Chrysler. I don't like that. It's not a good look either way. Maybe we'll get in when Sharky's in here. We'll talk about that a little bit more. AAA Midget Loop last night. Pat sees 5-0 over the Notre Dame Hounds. It was Ryan Ulmer, 3 goals. Swift Current, 4-3 over Moose Jaw Estevan. They found their mojo in a big way. 11-2 over Yorkton in the AAA loop. In the female AAA, it's Notre Dame in Regina tonight, 8 p.m. Prairie Junior Hockey League, Silver Foxes 6-3 over Assiniboia last night. Prairie Storm, they visit the first place Fort Knox squad this evening, 7:30 puck drop there. So that's a rundown of what's going on around the area. We'll take a quick break. I see Sharky parking right now. That means all you Sharky fans, he is going to be in the house. It is the all-new Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com.
The Harvard Media Holiday Auction is December 11th to 16th. It's the perfect time to get that Christmas shopping done.
Hi, Cody, Gloria, 620 CKRM Mornings. And here are some great items that'll be on our Harvard Media Holiday Auction. Jewelry and piercing gift cards valued at $100. Singing lessons. Tons of restaurant gift cards. Annual gym memberships. Home improvement gift cards valued at $500 and more.
The Harvard Media Holiday Auction is December 11th to 16th. Visit harvardmediaauctions.com for all the details.
620 CKRM on location.
Tip of the cap to you, Cody Glyden, broadcasting from the Yorkton Exhibition Cash Lottery. We're in the beautiful Gallagher Center here. Boy, this is a place that Yorkton and area should be very proud of. They got the Yorkton Terriers in here. They got a big convention area. They've got the swimming pool out here as well. And you know what? They got the Yorkton Exhibition office here, too. So if you want to stop in, take a look around, and grab your ticket for the Yorkton Exhibition Lottery, that's probably a very good idea, especially since we're coming up on Christmas, because I know, and you know, and we all know that we would have a place for $100,000. Where's the money going to go to? Is it going to go to someone in Whitewood? Is it going to go to someone in Kipling? Maybe someone in Moose Jaw has got the $100,000. Or maybe it's going to go directly into your bank account. But it won't if you don't buy a ticket. 1-866-783-4800. 1-866-783-4800.
John Party. She's a Friday night heartbreaker. Honky Tonk Hollywood Tour. June 11th, Grant Center, with special guests Corey Kent and Cassie Ashton. I got a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown. John Party. On sale Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. Don't miss John Party Live.
Come on down to Extreme Hockey and Sport for that special player on your Christmas list. Extreme Hockey is giving back with their 12 days of giveaways. Come and visit the redesigned store. Check out the Bauer Fit Lab for your custom skate fitting and demo the new shooting lane. The Christmas sale at Extreme Hockey and Sport for that special hockey player on your list. Feel great on and off the ice. Extreme Hockey and Sport, 1425 McIntyre Street, and the Pro Shop, conveniently located at the Cooperator Center.
So, since that little ding on my car last week, I don't know where to take it.
I don't even know.
That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did. Down here. I'm Terry the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
What do you think you're doing?
Bench presses. It's too cold to go to the gym, so I made one in the garage here. I'm going to wail on my pecs, and then I'm going to do my back.
Lester, since Busy Bee Doors fixed our garage door, you've been spending all your time in here.
That's because it's nice in here now. Do you mind? I'm trying to work out here. Unless you want to spot me.
Lester, you're not taking over this garage. You can be sure of that.
That's why I called Busy Bee.
Call Busy Bee Doors. They can fix or replace any commercial or garage door. Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists.
There's Sunday Fun Day, Manic Monday, and now Burrito Thursday.
That doesn't even rhyme or use alliteration.
Well, it's buy one burrito, get a second one half off at all Regina Taco Time locations.
Welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Get social with us. Follow us on X at Sportscage. Watch our video stream at sportscage.com and always on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Oh, text messages are coming in. 936-6262, Capital Ford Lincoln text line. Everybody, of course, loving Brett Kissel. And then the Trevor Harris signing. Sharky's with us, by the way. Like I said, he did make it in.
Hello, everyone.
Sharky
nice to be back.
is here. Harris signed. Not surprised, excited, of course.
I think it's a great signing.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Wasn't he the Western All-Star quarterback?
He was good.
I believe he was. Wasn't his passing efficiency like over 74%? Like,
he had a great passer rating last year.
Right? So you guys are hung up on his age, but he was the best quarterback.
Hey, who's you guys?
Other people. He was the best quarterback in the Western Conference, Western Division. So look at it that way.
Brandon, shout out. Always up in White City there, down in White City, side in White City, whatever you want to say it. He's happy Harris is back. He says, unfinished business. Now sign up Thurman and Sales long term. And I'll be floating on cloud 9.
Brandon, you are exactly right. Those are two guys I got to get inked up quick.
This one doesn't make any sense, so I'm not even going to read that one.
Probably from family of mine. Then.
Great signing. Harris, 8 defensive linemen free agents. Is that where we at? That seems high. I thought it was 6. 8?
It's 8. I can look them up in a second here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and this is the time of the year it's happening.
But the CFL has 1-year contracts all over the place. We're not the only team in this scenario, folks, right? And they don't have to be signed till February, 11th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relax.
Relax.
Yes. We had Justin Dunk on to start the show. And the continuity, right, with Mueller.
Yep.
All the coaches. And then I said the continuity with that offensive line that was patchwork. So next year we hope that's not the case, knock on wood.
Yep.
And then all the receivers, and I'm sure most of them are going to be back, let's be honest. You got all that too. We're starting so far ahead of where we did last year, I feel.
I don't disagree with you at all. I think if anything, Harris is the key to bringing even some of those other guys back.
Absolutely, right? Exactly.
I think if we didn't have Harris in the fold, I think other guys would look at other opportunities. But with Harris back, they know we got a great starting quarterback who can lead this team, who is a leader. Why wouldn't you want to play here, right? Why wouldn't you want to be a part of this organization? And outside of Amari Henderson and him singing Blue Bayou in Winnipeg there in the Western Final, his Linda Ronstadt impersonation, this is a team that could have been in the Grey Cup. They could have been in the Grey Cup. I got 100% support for J.O. and what he's doing.
Colson.
The defensive linemen that we need to sign, Brian Cox Jr., Malik Carney, Miles Brown, Charbel DeBeer, Benoit Marion, Micah Johnson, Anthony Lanier II, Christian Albright. 8 defensive linemen.
And I think one of those guys isn't coming back.
Probably.
Lanier. I think he's bandaged up too long.
Yeah, no, there's work to be done there. We're early in December here. And like you said, right, it's a little bit of power of the herd, power of the name. Who do we got going back? We knew, we kind of called it, and I don't want to be that guy. We talked about it on the Sports Cage for probably 3 weeks now. Yep. When we saw everything and what was happening in Edmonton, it's like J.C. Sherritt's going to end up in Edmonton, and he does.
Yep.
So he's there. McSimic is there. Edmonton's got what they want together. It feels to me Edmonton this year's got a little bit of that Rider feel from last year.
It's a good way to put it. I think it's a new voice. I wasn't against Jarius Jackson coming back or even Campbell going there, but this is a new voice. This is a new look. This isn't a recycle. This is somebody brand new that's going to bring in a whole different look and feel to that Edmonton football team, whatever you want to call them, Elks or Esks. And I think Edmonton's going to have a rebirth. Now, if we've talked about Trey Ford before, I'm not a fan, and I think if they go that way, they'll pay a price, but it's a new birth in Edmonton.
What do you think? Okay, so let's play video game here. What would you do?
I don't have the answer of what they should do. I just know that if they put all their eggs in the Trey Ford basket, they might regret that.
See, like when we talked to Dustin Nielsen, brought this up with Dunk too, right? You got to think about it. And we're all lunatic fans out there.
Everyone.
Fanatics.
Yep.
is you have Trey Ford. Hypothetically, it's not going to happen. And Justin said too, this marriage is never getting back together. If Cody Fajardo comes to Regina, which is not going to happen.
It's not happening.
He doesn't want to be here. He's not going to want to play second fiddle. But let's say so. Whoever backs up Ford, if it is a Fajardo, it was like as soon as they stumble a little bit, it's like, oh, Arbuckle's going. We need Arbuckle in now. Oh, we need Mayer in now. We need Fajardo in now. Whoever that guy is.
Yeah.
So you almost got to bring in a real bona fide two. But to that extent, then it's like the CFL game nowadays is like you got to have a serviceable quarterback to try and win games because guys, we don't have any Anthony Calvillo playing the full year, not getting injured guys.
No, you're exactly right, and you're very smart in saying some of those names you threw around there.
Whoa,
you want me to say smart? What exactly right?
Exactly.
Yeah. They need to make sure that whoever is 1 and 1A or 1 and 2 is more than somebody that's brand new to the CFL. Fajardo's an interesting name because we know he's not going to stay in Montreal. He's due a big bonus here coming up in January.
I don't know where else he's going to go, though, and be happy.
Well, happy's a different thing. Edmonton, I can see him as a landing spot. I really can. I can see him as a landing spot in Edmonton. Right?
No, I can't anymore. Because I think they're gonna go with somebody that Trey's got a long leash. Unless he gets injured. You know what, though? And let's think about it. There are going to be quarterbacks that don't get signed.
There are.
So they're going to sit wherever.
Yep.
They're going to sit wherever and keep in shape, hit the Peloton hard, toss a few balls at some high school down south, and then it's like a phone call away.
So who are the ones that are free agents that are the big three? And you could include McLeod, Bethel, Thompson in there if you want. Right?
Yeah, let me just
Fajardo, Arbuckle, and who's the other one I'm missing? Mayer. Jake Mayer. Right?
Those are the big three.
Those are the big three. Right? They got to land somewhere.
Mayer, Bethel Thompson, Dolagala, Strevler. I don't even consider him a quarterback.
No.
It's kind of like this utility player.
He's a misplaced running back. Yeah.
Mazzoli. There's a guy that could back up Trey Ford. Knowing that, listen, you're number 2 and
you're going to have a bonus-laden contract.
Let's not give the fans any reason to start shouting your name when Trey barfs all over himself a little bit. Let him play it out.
Yeah, I could see Mazzoli being in that role, right? You know who I don't see getting re-signed? Is Mayer.
I think he might end up here.
Oh, I hope not.
Why?
I don't think.
Never met the guy.
No, but I'm looking at his work, his show of work, the selection of highlights we have to look at.
But maybe that was due to his surroundings.
Could be.
Due to a lot of factors there in Calgary, where he comes here, he knows Mueller.
True.
And then you get to learn from the veteran Harris. Nothing against Shea Patterson.
No.
I don't know if he's the deuce for us.
Yeah, I don't know either. He was admirable in his attempts in the 6 or 7 games that he played, but that's as far as I go as admirable in the attempts. So, and the guy behind him, Cohen.
Yeah, he's here.
He's coming back. We get another look at him.
I
think so. Yeah,
he's signed. So. Yeah, a lot to go to, a lot to talk about. I'm really curious on. I'd love to know what Fajardo's thinking and doing, and
I think his agent's talking to everybody.
I don't think anyone wants to talk. Everyone's talking to his agent. I think it's the old. You see his phone call coming. I know that area code. No.
I don't know that Fajardo's.
Then he starts texting. Hey, how come you're not answering my calls? How come you're not picking up? That's Fajardo's agent again.
He was doing well for Montreal till he got hurt.
Oh, he's good quarterback. There's no doubt about it.
You think there's something wrong in the room with him?
No. Nah. Not at all. You got to move on at some point. And they feel that Alexander wants to play, needs to play. He's the future. So what are you going to piss him off?
No, you're not.
Right? Put your hockey coach hat on.
You got to play him. Yeah.
No, this is our guy. That guy over there, at the end of the day, we can release him. Release him.
I don't disagree with Montreal releasing him. I just think he's got some service that he can put in.
I was just saying we got a break. That's my bad.
Oh.
Sorry. We're coming back. We got Arash Madani in hour 2. Talk some U of R. And Greg Millen.
Greg Millen.
Yeah. I know you got to jet out too for a bit, but we'll be back. All new Sportscage streaming, sportscage.com.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. It's mostly cloudy and it's -4 in Regina. I'm Corey Atkinson from the Harvard Media News Center with 620 CKRM News for Sherwood Co-op. Proud supporter of our community with over 500 donations to local charities and nonprofits annually, and by Mercedes-Benz Regina. For those who can, Mercedes-Benz-Regina.ca. The Saskatchewan legislature passed 2 bills aimed at addressing affordability today. The Saskatchewan Affordability Act includes measures like an income tax reduction and promises the largest tax cut since 2008. The changes are set to take effect on January 1st, pending federal approval to fast-track necessary adjustments. And the Carbon Tax Fairness Act extends the removal of the carbon tax from Sask Energy home heating bills for another year. Premier Scott Moe urged the federal government to act quickly, emphasizing the need for affordability measures amid rising living costs. The official opposition supported both bills, citing the need to help struggling residents. Dillon RCMP responded to a report of an impaired school bus driver on November 19th. Security officers and school staff in the Buffalo River Dene Nation observed signs of intoxication and tried to stop the driver, who had approximately 50 children on board at the time. RCMP located the bus shortly after, finding no children on board, as they had already been dropped off. The 45-year-old driver was arrested and charged with impaired operation and exceeding the legal blood alcohol limit. His license has been suspended, and he is set to appear in court on December 18th. The Calgary International Airport is gearing up for a record travel season, but the effects of a devastating hailstorm that pummeled the city last summer are still lingering 3 months later. Hailstones as big as golf balls pounded the tarmac at Calgary International Airport, damaging planes at WestJet and Flair Airlines and forcing them to ground 10% of their fleets for repairs and inspections. WestJet Vice President Colleen Tynan says things are almost back to normal.
I think we have 2 that are still out of service out of the total of the 17 aircraft that were damaged from the hailstorm here this past summer.
Chris Miles, the Chief Operating Officer of the Calgary Airport Authority, says work on repairing one of the concourses won't be completed until 2026, but the work won't have any impact on flights or passengers. A powerful earthquake in Northern California near the Oregon border prompted authorities to issue a tsunami warning for coastal areas. Reporter Alex Stone says the National Weather Service has now canceled that warning.
The tsunami warning was canceled. That's all the way from the Oregon border down to the Bay Area, where there had been concern that it was going to come ashore. We have been waiting. We've been watching for anything. Nothing has been seen. No reports that we've gotten. We don't know of any major damage from the earthquake itself, the 7.0.
The quake struck at 10:44 a.m. local time west of Ferndale in coastal Humboldt County. That's your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
Put yourself in the driver's seat of the sporty Mercedes-Benz CLA 250, the timeless C300, or the versatile GLC 300 SUV. The choice is yours. Now leasing your new Mercedes-Benz is easier than ever. For $399 bi-weekly plus tax and 0 down, you can step into the luxury you deserve. Your luxury, your choice. Your Mercedes-Benz. Book your test drive today.
I give it top marks.
An A+.
It's a 10 out of 10 for sure.
The $10 sale is on now.
At Sherwood Co-op Food Stores.
Offering more local products than any other grocery store.
And for this week only,
the brands your family craves at amazing stock your pantry prices.
Like $10 a pound.
2 items for $10.
5 items for $10.
Or an amazing 10 items for $10.
Stock your pantry. Save your cash.
The $10 sale on now till Wednesday.
We are members.
We are owners.
We are Sherwood Co-op.
And now it's time for your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast for Line-X Regina. Serious protection, killer looks, 1865 McCarra Street, and brought to you by Wolf Industries, your truck repair specialists in Grenfell, servicing all sizes of trucks, SGI accredited. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of -7. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a high of 0. On Saturday, partly sunny and a high of +1. And on Sunday, periods of light snow and a high of 0. At this hour in Moose Jaw, it's mostly cloudy. Winds are from the southwest at 33 and it's -1. Regina is mostly cloudy also. Winds are from the southwest at 14 and it's -4. For more local news that matters to you, subscribe to the daily newsletter at sasktoday.ca.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line-X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line-X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line-X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line-X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line-X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
Whether Smokey's after you or not, when you're on the road in your big rig, you're in a hurry to get to where you're going, and you need a part shop you can trust. Wolf Industries is the premium choice. They're your family-run truck mechanic shop with a full line of parts for big semis, with certified AC technicians for the hot summer. Stop in at their Grenfell location for all the parts and repairs you need. They're SGI accredited for safety inspections and have 24-hour emergency call-out. Wolf Industries, the best for your truck. 10-4.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents the all-new Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Be a part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The all-new Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Thanks for tuning in. We're into hour 2 of this Sports Cage on Thursday, like you said, for Access Communications. Barney Shinkaruk, Sharky, Colson, Allen. Somewhere floating around here is Curtis. We are going to go out in the Western Pizza Guest hotline here momentarily and talk to Arash Madani. I am really interested to get into, as the hockey guy in you, the old hockey coach.
I like it.
When we get into the Four Nations talk, I want people to get in on the Western Pizza Guest hotline as well, and let us know what you think about Team Canada. It's a lot like this business. You can't please everybody. And those guys...
Somebody's unhappy?
Put together Team Canada for the Four Nations Cup. You knew the backlash that you were going to have. And did you hear the interesting thing?
Which one?
So when Brett Kissel was in here, just before you got in, I texted a buddy in Finland last night. I said, hey, your team's not bad. And he goes, yeah, not bad up front. Goaltending's really good. He goes, but our defense, we only have 8 defensemen in the NHL. And 7 of them are going. So they don't have a lot to pick from, which I had no idea.
I didn't realize it was that small a pool either.
After that, it's you got AHL, right? So, yeah, that's interesting. We'll get into all that talk here momentarily.
The all-new Sports Cage and Coast to Coast with Arash Madani is brought to you by Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Golly at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
Trevor Harris signs back with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. If there were betting odds on this, Arash, I wouldn't have touched it because... It was a foregone conclusion.
Minus 900 that he would have been coming back.
Minus 980. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a foregone conclusion that this was happening. I think everybody in Rider Nation should be, and not everyone is, because again, you can't please everybody. Everyone should be happy. Everyone should be excited that they're running it back.
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand why there's pause. I understand why there's concern. Right, Harris missed a third of the season this year with injury. He's going to be 39 when the 2025 season begins. But now more than ever, quarterbacks are playing into their 40s. There's an expectation that they can with the way they're protecting quarterbacks now. Trevor, when he was in, played at a decent to high level, depending on the night, 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, etc. Here's the other thing, Barney, and I mean this sincerely. What else were they going to do? Like, what were the legitimate other options? Okay, I guess you could have gotten into the trade sweepstakes thing with Vernon Adams. Okay, I get it. And then there wasn't anything else. Like, Bo's going to go back to Hamilton. They're going to give him a better contract. Now they got their GM in place there. You know what you're getting with Trevor Harris. It's year 3. And the coach trusts him. The GM trusts him. He understands the market. It just makes a lot of sense. Trevor Harris isn't why they lost the West Final. The team's just got to go get a lot better.
I think they got just out game planned in that. I don't want to go back to it.
No, I don't want to go back
game planned. Go ahead.
I think Trevor Harris is the domino that had to fall for the rest of the players to get on board. I really do. Yeah. I think if they'd have let this stay too long or got into the chase sweepstakes on somebody else, whether Arbuckle or whatever, it would have left a lot of other guys sitting on the fence going, what do I do now? And I think they now have a place where they go, no, I want to go back there. I want to play with Trevor.
And this is getting a little inside the weeds and inside baseball. It matters that it gets done this month, guys, because the bulk of Trevor's money, I shouldn't say the bulk, a good chunk of Trevor's money won't count now against the 2025 salary cap. Whatever the Riders had left over for this year, they can now, well, not everything, but most of it can be used there. And for Harris, as an American, if you put the majority of his contract as a signing bonus, he gets taxed a lot less. So his take-home money is going to be better. And now it gives yourself, 2 months and a week, almost 9 weeks to prep yourself for free agency and what you want to do. Look, I look at that West Final and I say to myself, as well as Caleros played, and he was excellent, Zach and Trevor were about equal. The difference in that football game is that Winnipeg's explosive players on offense were the difference makers. Kenny Lawler was outstanding. And what the Riders hadn't done, what they didn't do last offseason, what they weren't able to address in season, is find themselves explosive home run hitters. Look at those two teams in the Grey Cup, guys. You have Kenny Lawler. If Dalton Schoen were healthy, he would have been another one for Winnipeg.
Yep.
You have Coxie. You had, a number of guys on the field who could climb the ladder and go make plays, be explosive and go make plays. And that's what the Riders now need to do and have to do, especially, Sharky, as you talked about. The big first piece is now knocked off. That first domino is in place. We know who's going to be slinging the football around. Away we go.
I really do. I think it makes it a lot easier for the other free agents to say, this is a place that I want to play.
Chase Claypool will now be maybe looking at. There's that smile. There's that smile. Hey, never say never, right?
Never say never.
Yeah, like all that.
Honestly,
all that,
Chase is running out of options south of the border.
Lloyd Christmas, right? He taught us. You're saying there's a chance.
What happened to all that 1 in a million talk?
Yeah.
We landed on the moon?
Yeah.
Oh, we could go there.
Results, hey guys? Well,
yeah.
See you later.
Exactly.
Okay, I really think, and I'm sure there are a few people out there, and maybe we'll see them tonight having a pint out. But Cody Fajardo's not working as the number 2 guy in Saskatchewan.
I would like for the people who are fans of the green and white, the fans of the Riders, to hear me on something here. As Rick Pitino once said, famously, way back when he was coaching the Celtics and they were dreadful, when he said Larry Bird isn't walking through that door, Kevin McHale isn't walking through that door, Cody Fajardo is not walking through that door.
Nor should you want him walking through that door.
It's just done. That relationship is done. The trust is done. It was not a fit. It was a mess the way it ended. Cody's going to have some options. Yes, Saskatchewan isn't the place. Now, what happens from here in terms of what their number 2 should be, that should be a real priority too. Cody won't be coming to Sask.
Okay.
Dash 30 dash.
If they had it on Coolbet, would the front runner be Patterson? Would the front runner be Mayer? Would the front runner be who?
It's a good question. I mean, it's going to come down to, economics, opportunities, et cetera, et cetera.
Relationships.
That's part of it too. Look, I think there's a better chance Chase Claypool is a Saskatchewan Roughrider next year than Cody Fajardo is. But what I would say though is, if I'm Jeremy O'Day and if I'm Corey Mace, I make it a priority to have a veteran quarterback who has started in this league with some real reps as a backup. Because, again, Trevor's going to turn 39. Again, Trevor missed a third of the season. And very few quarterbacks go wire to wire starting all year. And in a West Division where, the balance of power is just getting tougher and tougher, and you need somebody in there who can legitimately do it.
You know where I think Cody Fajardo could end up, and this is maybe just me as the commissioner of the league when I get the gig, is Ottawa.
Next year?
Yeah, it's not a bad call.
Well, next year.
Yeah.
You don't like that?
I think Cody's best option, and it's going to have to be, biting your lower lip, your upper lip. Which part of your lip do you have to suck it up, Cody, and take number 2 money and stay in Montreal and have an incentive-laden contract that if Davis Alexander gets hurt or benched or whatever, you get bonuses for every start.
Do you think that conversation's even going to take place, though? Do you think there's going to be a chance for them to have that chance?
Yeah, I do. And you know what? I think the thing, I like that, but the other thing is, it'd be great to talk to him if we knew him. Does he like the city? Is he comfortable there? I don't know what he's got for family. Because that would play in huge at his age.
Guys, also, let's just remember this. We get so caught up with the starter, and obviously, understandably so. But look at BC, Calgary, Edmonton, Sask, Hamilton, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal. 8 of the 9 teams last year did not have their number 1 quarterback play all 18 games.
No.
Doesn't happen anymore.
No.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It can't. Offensive line play has regressed. The games become so much more violent. Blah 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 blah. So having a real number, and guys have to understand that. And if you're willing to kind of put that ego aside, you're going to be okay. Like Arbuckle, like think about the Arbuckle situation. He's a free agent for 100 days, doesn't get signed till the second week of camp to come in and be the backup to Cameron Dukes, not the backup to Chad Kelly, to this dude from Kentucky who can't play, and ends up becoming Grey Cup MVP.
Well, that's what I said to Sharky. I said, with how many quarterbacks there are free agents, there are going to be guys that are going to be, working
sitting at home,
working at the AM PM or the Jersey Mikes, and getting on that Peloton, working out with the high school team, and then getting hoping for a call mid-season. They're just supply demand.
Arbuckle's going to get one before that. Somebody is going to put money on Arbuckle. You don't go and become the Grey Cup MVP and nobody signs you.
Wouldn't that be something?
Like, where do you see him ending up?
I could see him staying in Toronto, honestly. And here's the other thing we don't know. They're going to say all the things, but everyone's just guessing on Chad Kelly's recovery and rehab. At what percentage is he going to be physically? Like, that's
a tough injury.
Clean injury. Yep. That he goes right to the hospital and within hours has surgery and couldn't fly, et cetera, et cetera. If there's any setbacks, if there's any infections, if there's any ... So, look, obviously it worked with Dinwiddie. There's a trust there. There's a rapport there. There's success there. If he's willing to play for number 2 money or willing to sign for number 2 money, I think he stays in Toronto.
What's going to happen in Ottawa? Let's go back to Ottawa.
Drew Brown. I can definitively say that they are going to move forward with Drew Brown, a quarterback. Look, guys, it's been a laundry list of dudes who've come through there. Dustin Crum, and they had this infatuation with Jeremiah Masoli over and over again. I think they part ways with Masoli this offseason. Would it make sense for Masoli to end up, say, somewhere like Edmonton, as kind of a mentor, a guy who can really help Trey Ford along, etc. But, Drew Brown magic. Again, there's another team that needs to upgrade its receiving core. And if they do, I think you can see some more wins from an Ottawa team that just absolutely fell off the cliff the second half of the season.
Yeah, they sure did.
They did. I like Drew Brown. I think he's going to do a great job. I do. I'm a Drew Brown fan. I am. I think he's going to...
More than Trey Ford?
Without a doubt. I'm not a Trey Ford fan.
Well, people are texting in here. Somebody texted. I just saw this logo. There's a capital Ford Lincoln text. Oh, Trev in Regina. Trevor. I call him Trev. He checks in all the time. Guys, be careful on Trey Ford. No one was scared of Rourke either when he was going to be the starter in BC. QBs in the CFL are all scheme. Jordan McSimic calling plays for Trey Ford might surprise everyone, as did Rourke. Totally. Scheme.
Great comment.
Great comment. Ding. Trevor, that's the text of the day right there. Boom.
Starting Monday, Trevor is going to be in in the chair over there. He's coming on the show. No, that is true, though.
That's exactly true. Yeah.
That's true. Kind of wisdom I'd expect to hear from a guy who knows the league really well. Is it Trevor H? Who?
Yes. Yeah.
Who chimed in? No, that's well done.
Okay, let's shift here. What a Thursday night! You and I have texted back and forth this year on some real piles of you know what when it comes to Thursday night. Tonight, I feel
weekend.
like
this Thursday's great.
That's what I'm getting at.
No, but I mean the rest of the weekend's crap.
Okay, let's live in the now.
Okay, all right.
What do you figure here? And the line, see, is it back now to 3? Are you serious? It was just at 3.5. Now it's back to 3.
Barney, it opened at 5.5.
That's wild.
And it's Detroit is just decimated with injury all over the place. And now DJ Reader's out. Like their entire front on defense, and Josh Jacobs can run the ball. It looks like he's going to play tonight. Here's what I like about this game that we rarely see on Thursdays. Remember, both of these teams played last Thursday too. U.S. Thanksgiving, the Lions of the first game, and then then that team from Wisconsin that, as a Vikings fan, I refuse to acknowledge by name. They won at home in prime time. But so they have a full practice week, and it's a healthy team coming into Detroit tonight. Look, I know the Lions have been a juggernaut. I know the Lions have been, to me, they've been the best team in football for much of the season. But when you're missing like half of your defensive starters, at some point that's got to give. Look, if Green Bay loses tonight, they're out of the division title, hope. But you know what I looked at today, guys, on a sprinkle? I'm not actually playing the game as much as I'm playing the division odds. Green Bay is plus 1,400 to win the division. Minnesota's plus 500. Detroit still has to play Minnesota coming up. Green Bay still has Minnesota. There is value there to play the other two teams to win the NFC North more than there is to play this one.
That long play does nothing for my instant gratification I need tonight. While I'm sitting at home with a bag full of Taco Time. It's a burrito full Thursday.
I heard the Taco Time chat the other
need
day.
Action tonight, and you know what you just did?
Take the Packers.
You just sold me on the Packers. 3.5. Coulson literally changed in 30 seconds. 3.5. I might even take a little money line action on them. And then what do you think about 52.5 then as the over-under? Does a guy build a bet there with maybe a parlay?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I like some Josh Jacobs props too.
I can give you that. I can go there.
Yeah.
Is this the Barney book? Are we running our own book over here?
We're in break, aren't we? No, Jake. What would you like him for?
I like him for rushing yards. I like him for receiving yards. I like him for all-purpose yards. I like him for all the yards tonight.
Okay. It's gonna be a good watch. Anyway, next week, Buffalo goes into Detroit.
Yeah. And again, this will not help your instant gratification thing either. But hear me out on this. So the mighty Lions of Detroit, coached by Dan Campbell, today are 11-1. And the mighty Bills of Buffalo just won their 5th straight division title. If Buffalo goes in there and wins next week, who's the coach of the year in the NFL if Buffalo gets home field advantage in the AFC?
Mike Tomlin.
You know what? Sean McDermott is paying, depending on where you're looking, 20, 25, and 35 to 1 to win Coach of the Year. Again, it's a value play. But if this dude's willing to do Snow Angels with Josh Allen in a national interview with Scott Van Pelt after winning a 5th straight division, reshaping this team, etc., I just like the value.
I like that action. I like how you're talking there.
Yeah,
I really like how you're talking there. I'm going to look that up later when I'm on my second burrito. That interview, Scott Van Pelt. Did you hear Scott Van Pelt almost died?
What?
You didn't hear this? I listened to his SVP pod. Love him. Yeah, I think it was Thanksgiving, the break, like Thursday or Friday, and the family was chilling in Florida, and he was on a Vespa or a moped and just cruising in the neighborhood and meeting, and the family was coming the other way on a golf cart. Somehow bit it, and real bad. So that's why he's walking around in a boot. But he was there Monday night.
Wow.
He was doing his thing when he was in a boot. Yeah, it wasn't good, like cracked ribs. You'll have to go and check that out.
This guy's got my kind of luck.
Luckily, he's okay because he's an absolute beautician. Josh Allen going to be the MVP?
I think so. I mean, look, what did I see today? 26 total touchdowns to 5 interceptions. I think he has to be the first athlete in like football history to throw for one, catch for one, and run for one in a game, let alone in the NFL. They completely revamped their receiving core this year. Josh has been the engine, but don't sleep on Saquon Barkley either. Like the Eagles were 2-2. Barney, I came on this show at the end of September. I'm like, these idiots have got to fire Nick Sirianni.
Yes.
It's not blah, blah, blah. And you know what the Eagles have done since? Won every damn game they've played. And when Saquon can give you 60-plus yards in the fourth quarter in Baltimore like he did last week, when he can do stuff like if you're watching on the stream, I mean, just the reverse hurdle goes down as maybe the greatest athletic feat ever. He's right there in the conversation, but I still think it's Josh Allen's.
You know what? I was listening the other day, and it made sense. When you think about if they didn't do that tush push, how many more touchdowns Saquon would have?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Really?
They'd be giving him the ball all the time.
Yeah. Okay, before we let you go, I want to get comment. Are the Blue Jays going to be in the league this year? Is there going to be baseball in Toronto? Have they paid
their team together?
Have they paid their fees?
Have they got anybody to play yet?
You know what's amazing? Single game tickets went on sale today. And as part of the email, it said if you buy a Flex Pack ticket pack now, you get access to, drum roll please, postseason tickets. I'm like, guys,
wow.
You finished in last place. Postseason. Playoffs.
You get access to playoff tickets.
In some other city.
I was going to say, like, is there a connection with Yankee Stadium? Are you going to get a flight to the Bronx? Like, how does all this work?
Pittsburgh. They got him in Pittsburgh for you.
Directs to San Diego, a day out of Toronto. Are they going to do anything, though? Are they going to, are Blue Jay fans, like,
they keep saying they're in the Juan Soto sweepstakes.
No.
The Juan Soto sweepstakes now seem to be going from 500 to 600 to now 750.
That is unreal.
Yeah.
When's the billion? The B.
Look, 22 years ago, everyone's mind exploded when A-Rod signed for 250.
Yep.
Now it's up to 750 allegedly. It has tripled.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, you got the Blues hoodie there. You guys know that Keith Tkachuk made more 22 years ago than Matthew or Brady makes now? Isn't that amazing?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Boys are
Keith
telling me we
made
got
10. Brady and Matthew make a little less than that.
Jeez, there's a little tidbit. Let's close it on the tidbit, and we'll regroup. I'm sure we'll be texting back and forth tonight, watching what's happening. I hammered the 3.5. So pray for me. It's always fun. Arash, let's talk next week.
Arash, good to see you again.
Good boys. Thanks so much. Yeah, great to see you.
Break time up against the clock here. Colson's telling me it's the all-new Sportscage, streaming at sportscage.com.
The all-new Sports Cage is brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090.
620 CKRM on location.
Good afternoon. Cody Glyden broadcasting from the Yorkton Exhibition Cash Lottery at the beautiful Gallagher Center, home of the Yorkton Terriers. They're going to be playing a game Saturday night against Kindersley here in Yorkton. $100,000 is what the lottery is giving away this year, and boy, we'd love to get your ticket into that draw drum. You can do it online, YorktonExhibition.com. Now, it's actually been pretty good this afternoon. The 50-50 take-home is up over $25,000 and growing. How about that? Grab those tickets right now. I hope you're telling me that you don't want $100,000. I hope you're telling me you do want $100,000. And who doesn't? Because we all have a place for it, right? Maybe we want to use it for paying off some bills, paying off the kids' bills, helping out the grandchildren, or something like that. You can make it all happen by calling 1-866-783-4800, 1-866-783-4800.
Get ready for winter, all winter long, with Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. A new Bryant furnace can keep your whole home warm. And right now, you can finance your Bryant furnace with Bronco for a special rate of 4.99%. And don't start paying for 6 months. Plus, don't forget about available rebates on qualifying furnaces. Be ready for winter with Bryant at Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. BroncoPlumbing.com. Bronco and Bryant. Whatever it takes.
The wait is finally over. Year-end clear-out is back at Capital Ford Lincoln. Get savings up to $20,000 on all remaining 2024s like the Ford F-150 or Ford Bronco lineup. Drive away today with $0 down and no payments until next year. Plus, we have a giant selection of pre-owned trucks and SUVs. You're going to find the perfect vehicle for you. It's finally back. Year-end clear-out at Capital Ford. CapitalFordLincoln.com.
Full bore? What does that even mean? Like a full animal? I guess it's better than a half bore, especially if you're the bore. Or is it a full bore like every team's meeting? What's never a bore is driving on slick Saskatchewan winter roads. At least your local Cooper tire dealer carries Cooper Discoverer Snowclaw winter tires. Cooper Discoverer Snowclaw winter tires provide exceptional grip and traction in the snow and ice. See your local Cooper tire dealer for Cooper Discoverer Snowclaw winter tires.
You don't want to move cows that don't want to be moved. Instead of trying to move the cows to the water, just install a Keln Solar Livestock Watering System. With a Keln Solar Livestock Watering System, you can put your pump pretty much anywhere without the cost of hooking up to the grid. Leave the cows where they are and move the water to the cows. Learn more about the Keln Solar livestock watering system at kelnsolar.com. Keln Solar, we move water.
Regina Royal Canadian Legion Branch 001 has the ultimate chance to make your holidays extra bright this Christmas. The Regina Legion Vehicle Raffle is on right now. For your $100 ticket, you have the chance to choose between 14 brand new vehicles. Proceeds from the lottery stay right here in Regina and go towards initiatives such as assisting homeless veterans, the RCMP, military, and preserving history in the museum. Draw date is December 12th. Get your tickets at reginalegion.com.
Lottery license number LR240035.
The all-new Sportscage is live streaming from our Century Studios in downtown Regina. Watch now at sportscage.com. Be part of the show by texting 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
Welcome back to the All-New Sportscage. We teed it up earlier. We teed it up on socials. Joining us in studio, legendary NHL goaltender and broadcaster Greg Millen in Regina. Thanks for stopping by. I know we're going to get to your speaking in Regina, and that just wrapped up. Pretty cool. I want to first off go. We hear you on TV now, broadcasting. How many games a year are you doing? Are you amping it up, kind of scaling it back?
Well, I'm scaling back and they're scaling me back, I guess. But, back in the day, it was over 100 games. It was crazy, right through to the, whether you had Olympics in there or two mixed in, whether you had, the Stanley Cup final. I've been very fortunate. I'm getting towards the end. I do about 30 games a year now, which quite frankly has been perfect. With Calgary, mostly. When Kelly goes one way, I go the other. And Kelly Rudy, and it's been a real treat because the Calgary Flames are a really fun organization to be around. They get it. They're getting better. They're really good people. So for me to scale down a bit and get that many games, plus I love to ski in Silver Star Mountain where my sister-in-law lives, is not far away. So it's a pretty nice lifestyle for me at the moment.
You called a lot of games with a lot of different broadcasters. First off, do you still love it?
Love it. Yeah. I mean, the moment of calling a game is as close as you can be to a player. You get the ups and the downs. I mean, it's changed. We've got social media now. We've got Twitter to make sure they tell me when I make a mistake, which I make many. But, the home team always can get a little bit mad on national broadcasts because they're used to the home team getting the plugs and you're trying to keep it down the middle. But, when the event starts, and it's the people in the business as well. I know everybody pretty much in terms of managers and coaches. And we've all said it many times that hockey is a real special business in terms of relationships. And I will miss that part.
Four Nations Cup coming up. No All-Star game. We got the Olympics next year.
No All-Star game. All right. I love that.
Yeah. Do you like the Four Nations idea?
Yeah, I think it's a start. I'm disappointed, like we all would be, that Kucherov or Draisaitl or some of the real names in our game are not participating. I get it with the way the world is at the moment. But in saying that, it should provide a real fun brand of hockey, get people ready for the Olympics, get the teams ready. I'm surprised that the teams didn't bring a few more younger players with them to get them ready for the Olympics. They didn't. I think everybody just plain wants to win. And it should be interesting. USA Hockey's come a long way. I mean, their numbers now are astronomical in terms of who's playing. And that will change the landscape for Canadians a little bit, I think, when they start watching this.
The other thing, too, when you look at that American roster that comes out, their forwards are big.
Yeah. Big, strong. Kachucks will be annoying. I mean, they've got a bit of sandpaper. They got a bit of everything. But again, I mean, we've got players coming out of St. Louis now. We got players coming out of California. We got players that I've never even heard of coming out of places I don't even know exist in the U.S. So it's a big nation. They've caught on to hockey, which is great for the game. But it's tough for Canadians now because, we're not a big country and it's getting more and more expensive to play, and it makes it a little difficult for all of us in Canada to participate like it used to be. You hope the weather like today here is such that players can play outside and keep that that love going, because that's important.
Yeah. Canadian goaltending, right? There's been so much talk on that and who is going to be on this team and what are we going to look like when we go to Italy. As a goaltender, where do you think Canada is right now as far as the top goal? Are we making too much of this?
No. We'll see, right? I mean, you never know how the goaltending is going to be. I can tell you we have a void in Canadian goaltending development in this country, because when you're a 15-year-old, you have to probably not play midget, depending on where you are. A lot of midget hockey, major midget, not minor, but major midget hockey, they're not great because all those players end up playing provincial junior or they play major junior. And so the goaltenders now they need to play. Well, where do they play? Because we know provincial junior is a business. We know major junior is a business. So they play the 18-year-olds. They play the 19-year-olds. They play the 20-year-olds. Meanwhile, there's a void from that 16 area through to about 18-ish. Unless you're a really elite, you don't play. So you don't develop. Where do we put goaltenders to develop in this country? I've said this for a very long time. I don't like the fact that European goaltenders are allowed in major junior hockey because I think it takes another Canadian job away for development. And I know it's a business, but every time you do that, that's one less player that can play at a very specialized area. I do think we have to look at that a little bit more. The other thing quickly is the cost. To outfit a goaltender now, it's bad enough forwards, but a goaltender and all the costs that go with it. Now they're all going to these elite goaltending schools. Price is a problem also.
The one thing that, we hear a lot, and we had Royden Gunn on talking about it, who has got a goalie camp in Saskatoon, is, and I hear it, growing up with two kids in hockey, is they're not letting young kids in that, novice Adam, they're not letting them just be goaltenders. They're saying, no, you guys still got to be a player because we're not letting you just play goal. And a lot of people are saying that's part of the problem where you get to, now into Adam or Pee Wee and it's like, okay, now you're a goaltender, but you weren't allowed to do it. Do you think they should just kind of let kids feel it all when it comes to hockey?
Yeah, I think they should play all positions. I mean, when they're that young, let's be honest, they're that young. I mean, it should be all about having fun, which at times in our country gets lost. We should be letting them play all positions. Quite frankly, you better know how to skate if you're going to be a goaltender. If you're going to shove them in net when you're 5 years old, it doesn't help their skating ability.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got goaltenders that haven't played until they're 15. 14 that have actually played in the National Hockey League. So I don't buy that theory. Goalie coaches will buy it because they get to, work on young goalies. But I hate to say it, but for me,
for sure, yeah.
For me, I think it's we get a little bit carried away with minor hockey in general.
It was Pittsburgh, Hartford, Quebec, Chicago, then the Rangers and Detroit. I totally forgot about those stops for you in your career.
Me too.
You saw a lot of young tenders come out of the league. You got to, in Chicago, there were two youngsters, and I had a chance to interview him on the Nooner with Ed Belfer, but the Hasek was there as well as the youngsters. Very emotional guy, Ed, right, to his own admission and all that. When you were there and they were coming up young, did you see the greatness in both of those guys? Could you?
Well, put it this way, they ended up in the press box, and both of them beat me out, and they're both Hall of Famers now, so it makes me feel a little bit better. And also Mike Keenan, you mix that into the whole thing here, which I don't usually say that name very often. But no, they were competitive guys and very good. I've got a funny Hasek story that I'll never forget. We were in an exhibition game in Milwaukee carrying three goalies, and it was Hasek's turn to play. So I was in the stands with Steve Larmer, who was a good friend of mine from the same town that I lived in the summertime. And so anyway, Hasek ended up in the first period without a glove, stick-hand glove, without a stick, at the hash mark, so halfway up the ice, skating back to his net after making a save, swimming out there. And I said to Steve Larmer, who was a good friend, I said, Steve, that guy can't beat me out. I mean, look at the way he's playing goal. I mean, he's swimming on the ice. He has one glove off. He has no stick. Steve used to chew gum, and he's chewing his gum. He looked at me. He said, Millsy, he's got the quickest feet I've ever seen. And at that point, I knew I was going to be out of a job because he's a pretty honest guy, Lawrence. One of my good friends telling me you're done. But yeah, it was an interesting style. It completely confused me. And what it did is put me in the press box, thanks to the other name I said a moment ago. I played 58 minutes that year. Yeah. 58 big ones. And that was towards the end of my career. So that was the end of that.
Earlier in your career, going back, we saw this summer where Holloway and Broberg were restricted free agents, and St. Louis plucked them away. Edmonton didn't counter. There's the story when you were a restricted free agent in '81, Hartford signs you, and then the story I read is because the Pittsburgh GM was on vacation and didn't have a chance to counter.
Good old Baz Bastine. I'll never forget when Baz pulled me in the office after I let 5 in my second professional game. And I think he was about to send me down, and he grabbed his chair, and unfortunately for him, it was a swivel chair. He fell right in his ass on the office, and that was the end of that. And he said, "Get out of here, kid." So I was sure I was going to get sent down if it wasn't for the swivel chair. So that's Baz. We had an offer on a Friday from Hartford, Larry Plow, who was in the business a very long time. We told Pittsburgh. I loved Ed. E.J. Johnson was my coach. I didn't want to leave Pittsburgh, but I played my option out at back then. I played 62 games, I think, or so my third year at $40,000 because they were offering us 70. And I fired Alan Eagleson, and I ended up with a criminal lawyer out of Sault Ste. Marie that said, "If you take that, you're nuts." So I played my option out, lost a lot of money at that point and a lot in our life. Gave Pittsburgh 3 days to counter the offer because we did not want to leave. Larry Plow called on a Sunday night and said, "We're going to sign you." So we jumped on a plane, went to Connecticut, signed at his house. The next morning, I'm in the hotel in Hartford, and I got a call from the president of the Pittsburgh Penguins at the time, Paul Marth. He said, "Well, I heard you're signing." I said, "Well, yeah, we've given you 3 days." He said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well," he said, "What if we offer you U.S. Steel?" I said, "You can offer whatever on it. We're signed." He said, "Well," I said, "We told Baz," and then I found out that Baz went golfing and didn't believe us. Yeah,
pre cell phone, pre internet, pre everything, right?
Yeah,
it was just
no, it was an interesting time. It's unfortunate because I really do wish I could have stayed as a long-time Penguin, but it was so much money back then, and I had a young family, I couldn't do it.
Regina, more specifically, Sasky guys, right? Like you got to play with Chaser, with Twist, Dirk Graham from Regina.
No, you're missing the big guy.
The late Brad McCrimmon, too.
Yeah,
right.
I played with Beast in Detroit for a very short time. What a wonderful person and competitor he was. Really miss my roommate, Bernie Fedorko. 5 years.
Yeah, Foam Lake.
Yeah, 5 years with Bernie, and we had a lot of fun together, and he's still a very good friend. Chaser, of course, was there. As a young kid.
Are those Sasky kind of prairie guys? You're from out east. Are they a little bit different? Like just because they must have the grittiness. And Melrose always talked about that.
I think I kind of wish I was always a Westerner to begin with. I did a lot of time in did the Western late game for Hockey Night for 15 years with Chris Cuthbert, and I've always sort of lived out here in my TV career. I've always had a great respect for Western hockey players because they're riding the buses the way they are. It's you get a player that's got some character and some grit usually, and they usually find a way to make it to the National Hockey League. Chaser's a great example of that.
Yeah,
and I do have a soft spot for those players for sure.
I got to ask you. I was like I said, when I was a youngster, I was a hockey card guy. I don't know if Colson, you got any of the pictures.
I hope not.
But I have to ask you, and my buddy in Saskatoon and I were talking about this because he was a goalie. It's like, you got to ask him what was with his helmets. He always had like the mask that was right up against your face. I think it was the Hartford one where it almost looks like you're wearing a piece of Tupperware.
Yeah, I got that's why I'm not very smart now because I got hit in the head with a Jaffa helmet on all the time with a puck. But it was funny. My father, when the time came, everybody wore cage growing up, and then now the fitted mask came. Yeah. My dad was an engineer, so that sort of had something to do with this, I guess. And he said, "Why would you ever wear a fitted mask? First of all, you can't see down, correct? And secondly, every time you got hit, you cut your eyes, correct again." So I stayed with the wire cage, and then once the new cage came out, which you see the combination of the fitted and the wire, I tried it, but it was later in my career, and like all stubborn old goaltenders, I didn't want to change anything. So at that point, I didn't. But the Jaffa helmet was a little dumb. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, not a little dumb. Yeah.
You're in town. You're a keynote speaker on character leadership. Now, when people get a chance to listen to Greg Millen speak on character leadership, what do they hear?
Well, I fortunately I did a master's degree in leadership in my late 50s, and got involved with Ivy Business School in London, Ontario, and they've done a tremendous amount of work on character. I knew the woman, a distinguished leadership consultant and professor there, Dr. Mary Crossan, and so we've been pairing up for quite a while doing some character work. We work with Seattle Kraken. We work with the Carolina Hurricanes. Most recently, the Okanagan Hockey Group, who's done a lot of work on character. Dixon Ward there, who's quite involved in that. And I just, character is a word that everybody kind of rolls out of their mouth, but they really don't know what it is. And Ivy's been able to identify it and also work with people on character development teams, professional sports teams, professional business organizations. So it was an opportunity for me to share some of that today, and I really enjoy doing it.
And if anybody wants to book you, and all that, obviously call Brent at Global Events. Is it .com?
Events Edge.
EventsEdge.com for sure. And because I think, you get a chance to hear something different. And I feel as a parent too, right? Even for me with my kids, it's my voice. And then when it's someone else's voice, and then we get that in business as well.
Yeah, well, there's a big void in hockey as well for it. I mean, in minor hockey, coaching is a big one as well, character, and how coaches conduct themselves because they have such a huge influence in kids. And Brent's helped me out, keeping me in line here and making sure that we can spread the word a little bit, and which is much appreciated. And it's a fun topic, but one that people don't really understand. And that's the greatest thing about Ivy. And it's kind of our Harvard of Canada. They've really done a wonderful job and they go all over the world talking about character development. So I have a real good resource, and I'm very fortunate to have them.
Events Edge Entertainment is where they can book Greg. There's a number of different speakers. You can go online there and see the number of different people, individuals, females, males that Brent can bring it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I know you got to fly out here right away. Really appreciate it.
Well, it's been great. I always love doing this. When you're around hockey people like yourself and people who love hockey and sports, it's always a great time. We giggle probably more off air than we do the last 5 or 10 minutes, so it's fun.
Greg Millen joining us here. It is the all-new Sports Cage. We are streaming. If you watched it, there you see it at sportscage.com. We'll be right back.
620 CKRM on location.
It's Cody Glyden. We're broadcasting from the Yorkton Exhibition Cash Lottery here at the Gallagher Center. And if you haven't got your ticket yet, get on it because the deadline is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. This is where we're going to be drawing for 10 draws of $500. Now, the draws will be coming up on Monday. After the 10 draws of $500, then there's going to be 14 draws of $1,000. And then there's going to be the big draw for $100,000. There's also a 50-50, the 50-50 up over $25,000 and continuing to grow. Maybe you've got the mortgage. You want to finish off paying off the mortgage. Maybe you've been thinking about retirement. You just need a little bit more. Well, maybe $100,000 will be that little bit more just to push you over where you can finally retire comfortably. You deserve it after all. Grab your ticket, $100 each, 3 for $250, YorktonExhibition.com or 1-866-783-4800.
Water heater and water softener rentals are now available at Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Instead of paying big money up front, you can rent a water heater and water softener directly from Bronco without the worry or hassle. They have a long history of renting water heaters and water softeners, and they're maintenance free. Bronco comes and does all that for you. Saskatchewan's best water heater rentals are from Bronco. Call 306-781-2090. Professional, courteous service. BroncoPlumbing.com.
The Husqvarna Season of Savings deals is on until December 7th at Prairieland Rental. Get deals on select Husqvarna items, including snowblowers with up to $400 off. Shop where the contractors shop, and you know you're dealing with local experts. And at Prairieland, you deal directly with the owner. They appreciate your local business, and they've got everything you need for your projects. They'll even deliver. The Husqvarna Season of Savings deals until December 7th. Prairieland Rental, 600 Albert Street, prairielandrental.com.
Worried about your debt but don't know how to deal with it? My name is Jasmine Brown, a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Regina. I talk to people about debt every day, and I understand how stressful your situation can be. During a free consultation, I can show you how to lower your payments and become debt-free. I can offer you immediate relief from that overwhelming stress. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to learn more.
Rooted in tradition, leading in innovation, McDougall Auctioneers is your first choice for farm auctions. Hi, this is Riley McChesney. At McDougall Auctioneers, we understand that selling your farm equipment is more than just business. It's about peace of mind. That's why we offer a unique guarantee, a minimum value for your auction, ensuring you sell with confidence and comfort. Our promise is your security. Choose McDougall Auctioneers, where your satisfaction is not just expected, it's guaranteed. McDougallAuction.com.
Year-end clearance is happening right now at Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We are clearing the lot to make room for new inventory, which means crazy clearance prices on remaining new 2023 and 2024 vehicles. up to 20 grand off, and you can drive away with $0 down, and you don't have to pay until 2025. We have over 200 new vehicles to choose from, including the Jeep Grand Cherokee and the entire Ram truck lineup. Do not miss year-end clearance at Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
The all-new Sports Cage. Watch our live stream at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
We got something really interesting coming up in hour 3 that Curtis literally just spent an hour and a half on. We thought it was going to take 15 minutes. You did a great job. I haven't even seen it yet. I'm giving you a compliment here. We're going up to news here. What's the latest at U of R? Give us some. You're the U of R guy. Give us the
U of R guy.
411.
Women's volleyball hosted U of M last weekend. Lost both matches 3-0. They're in 10th place in Canada West, holding the final playoff spot. Second half schedule sets up for them well. They start January 17th with a trip to Mount Royal. Men's basketball finished the first half with a split against Mount Royal. They're 5-5, holding the last spot in the Prairie Division. Second half again sets up for them well. They host McEwen, who is winless, January 10th and 11th. Women's basketball, they had the same split at Mount Royal to end the first half. They are 8-2 and in first place. They too host McEwen, January 10th and 11th. Men's hockey, after a bye last weekend, they're off to Manitoba to face the Bisons. Manitoba sits 2 points ahead of the Cougars, but they're in for a tough battle. Both teams are short of making the playoffs right now. And finally, at home this weekend, and the only team at home or playing is the women's hockey team. They host the Manitoba Bisons Friday at 7 and Saturday at 5 at Cooperators. They sit 1 point ahead of the Bisons for second in the Eastern Division, and a home playoff spot. Manitoba was swept last weekend by UBC.
Good job. I feel that's a sellable feature. You do it so well.
I think it's sellable too.
Smooth.
Sellable.
Get Curtis to make a graphic for it.
I love it.
Yeah,
that should take about 4 days.
You always get it.
Did you have Curtis's mic shut off yesterday or the other day? Wasn't there an issue that Curtis had to be? Yeah.
No.
No, he's just in graphics.
Don't forget, NFL Lives in Canadian Brewhouse. Thursday Night Football has your chance to win a trip to an NFL home opener of your choice. Green Bay, Detroit tonight. $1 off tankards of Bud Light and Bud Heavies. Details at CanadianBrewhouse.com. Hour 3, we have Glen Suitor. We have this cool graphic that we're going to talk about. It has to do with the Four Nations Cup. Stay tuned for that. And what else do we got?
So you need to be on the stream.
Yeah, got to be on the stream.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we can paint the picture as well.
All right.
We'll all wrap it together.
It'll be fine.
Just come along for the ride. It's the all-new Sportscage streaming at sportscage.com.
620 CKRM on location.
Oh, it's interesting talking about going to an NFL game and winning a chance to go to the NFL game. I'm Cody Glyden with the Yorkton Exhibition Lottery, and if you happen to win the $100,000 grand prize, maybe you could put that towards one of your dream sports trips. You and the guys, you and another couple, whatever, going on an incredible trip down to the United States to catch an NFL game. Maybe you want to go to Minneapolis or Seattle or Arizona or somewhere down in Florida and catch an NFL game. You could do that. That could be what you could do with the winnings of $100,000. You could put a little bit aside and say, you know what? We deserve to go on a sports trip with the buddies here. Well, you could do that, but you need a ticket in order to get in and to be eligible for the $100,000 or any of the other cash prizes. You must have a ticket, $100 each, 3 for $250, 1-866-783-4800. Give us a call, Saskatchewan, 1-866-783-4800.
Year-end clearance is happening right now at Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We are clearing the lot to make room for new inventory, which means crazy clearance prices on remaining new 2023 and 2024 vehicles. Up to 20 grand off, and you can drive away with $0 down, and you don't have to pay until 2025. We have over 200 new vehicles to choose from, including the Jeep Grand Cherokee and the entire Ram truck lineup. Do not miss year-end clearance at Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Make holiday shopping easy with great outdoor items from the Winter Savings Sale on now at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Save up to 20% on CRKT knives and tools and select Leatherman multi-tools. Handy and versatile, these are great stocking stuffers for DIY enthusiasts. Plus, you'll find more great gift ideas at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's with gear for hunters, campers, and other outdoor lovers. Save more this holiday season with deals from the Winter Savings Sale. See online for more details.
The team of experienced farmland real estate agents at Shepherd Realty in Regina has just listed for sale 15 quarters of grain land with irrigation near Riverhurst, 4 quarters of grain land near Lee Ross, 3 quarters of grain land near Perry, and 1 quarter of grain land near Pilot Butte. To learn more, see the team at Shepherd Realty. Or if you're considering selling your farm or ranch property, contact Shepherd Realty at 352-1866. shepherdrealty.ca.
On today's farms, a generator is a necessity. Whether you need to keep operating during an outage or you need to bring power to a remote location, you need a generator from Shorty Generators. They are the farm generator experts specializing in standby generators, mobile generators, and prime power generators. For any power you need on the farm, Shorty has the generator to run your equipment, and Shorty can service all makes and models of generators too. Call them today and be prepared. ShortyGenerators.ca.
There's Sunday Fun Day, Manic Monday, and now Burrito Thursday.
That doesn't even rhyme or use alliteration.
Well, it's buy one burrito, get a second one half off at all Regina Taco Time locations.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. It's mostly cloudy and it's -4 in Regina. I'm Corey Atkinson from the Harvard Media News Center with 620 CKRM News for Echo Sound and Fort Qu'Appelle. Stay connected with a new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711. Saskatchewan MLAs unanimously passed 2 affordability-focused bills, the Saskatchewan Affordability Act and the Carbon Tax Fairness Act. The Affordability Act will deliver over $3,000 in tax relief for families over 4 years, starting in 2025, if the federal government agrees to accelerate required changes. The Carbon Tax Fairness Act extends the carbon tax exemption on Sask Energy heating bills for another year. Premier Scott Moe and opposition leader Carla Beck highlighted the urgency of addressing high living costs, with Beck noting widespread financial struggles across the province. Both leaders urged federal action to support these measures. Dillon RCMP arrested a school bus driver on November 19th after receiving reports of impaired driving in the Buffalo River Dene Nation. School staff and security officers noted signs of intoxication and tried to intervene before the bus, carrying 50 children, departed. RCMP located the bus after the children had been safely dropped off. The 45-year-old driver faces charges for impaired operation and exceeding the blood alcohol limit. His license is suspended pending court proceedings. RCMP credited the community security team and the school staff for their quick response and assistance during the investigation. Canada's merchandise trade deficit narrowed to $924 million in October, compared with a deficit of $1.3 billion a month before. Statistics Canada says exports rose for the first time since June. They rose about 1% in October to more than $64 billion after 3 consecutive monthly declines. Imports were up 0.5% at about $65 billion. GST holiday is fast approaching. Experts say there are ways to make the most of the tax break and avoid buying items just for the sake of getting the discount. Credit Canada CEO Bruce Sellery warned against acting irrationally over GST holiday savings.
The best way to save money is not to search for the best deal. The best way to save money is to not buy the thing. That is a savings of 100%.
Items including children's toys and clothes, video game consoles, beer and wine, snacks and Christmas trees will be GST exempt between December 14th until mid-February. And Pete Hegseth has spent the week on Capitol Hill trying to reassure Republican senators that he is fit to lead U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's Department of Defense in the wake of high-profile allegations about excessive drinking and sexual assault. Hegseth says Trump has continued to offer support for the position.
He's behind us all the way. Spoke to him this morning.
Do you have the votes yet confirmed?
That's why we're here to meet with the senators. It's been a wonderful process. There's an incredible amount of knowledge in the U.S. Senate, in the Senate Armed Services Committee. Men and women who have studied these issues, have invested their lives in it, and as someone who's hoping to earn their support as the nominee for Secretary of Defense, I welcome that knowledge. I welcome that advice, and that's why we're here.
Hegseth's frequent comments that women should not serve in frontline military combat jobs are also coming under deeper scrutiny. Hegseth said this week that, quote, "We have amazing women who serve our military." Pressed if they should serve in combat, Hegseth said they already do. It's 5:03, and that's your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when Uh-oh.
There are some things that can get spoiled. A sunny day, maybe.
Aw, and no umbrella or anything.
And then there's Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer, where they have all the top-of-the-line smartphones with all the latest features. With such a wide selection and so many great plans, nothing can spoil it.
Yay, rain!
Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel. EchoSound.ca.
Your Crawford's No Frills is here for you as the weather gets cooler and warm meals are being served around the family table. Crawford's No Frills considers themselves to be family, which explains their low prices. You wouldn't overcharge family, would you? The Crawford's No Frills family have great tasting quality food, special deals, and customers. So visit and plan your next family meal at No Frills. No bells, no whistles, no frills. Say yes to Crawford's No Frills. We won't be beat.
I'm Corey Atkinson with your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast, brought to you by Line-X Regina. Serious protection, killer looks, 1865 McCarra Street. And for Matt's Furniture, visit mattsfurniture.ca. Now here's Precision Weather meteorologist Phil Spivak.
Partly to at times mostly cloudy through the night. A couple of flurries may pass through. No significant precipitation threat at all. Temperature around -7. In fact, as the night goes on, the cloud cover thins out a bit. Partly sunny sky for Friday, the high 0. Partly to mostly cloudy again for Friday night, but the difference, temperatures really don't drop off much at all. We hold near -2 for the low. Very mild start to the day on Saturday, which will feature temperatures getting back above freezing, barely, but above freezing nonetheless, the high 1. Partly sunny day. Cloud cover starts to move in late day through evening, and that brings in the chance for some precipitation. We don't drop off at all Saturday night. That means we're still above freezing, but that means we're very close to freezing and right on that rain-snow line for Saturday evening. As we go through Sunday, temperatures begin to slowly fall. That'll change any mix to snow, and snow could produce some light accumulation Sunday. More snow showers, a little breezy Monday, temperatures fall. With your 620 CKRM weather forecast, I'm Precision Weather Meteorologist Phil Spivak.
Across the province at this hour, Saskatoon is -3, Swift Current is 0, Assiniboia 0, Broadview Moosomin -7, Yorkton Melville -7, Estevan -5, and Weyburn is -3. At this hour in Moose Jaw, it's mostly cloudy. Winds are from the north at 21, gusting to 42, and it's -1. Regina is mostly cloudy also. Winds are from the southwest at 10, and it's -4. For more local news that matters to you, subscribe to the daily newsletter at sasktoday.ca.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line-X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line-X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line-X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line-X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line-X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
He's at it again. Matt's sharpening his pencil to save you big money at Matt's Furniture. Now till January 8th, save more with their Boxing Day sale. Save more with the Maytag front-load washer with extra power and 16-hour fresh hold option for $1,349. Or the Maytag front-load electric dryer with extra power and quick dry cycle for just $1,149. Upgrade your kitchen with the Whirlpool freestanding electric range with true convection for just $1,399. Matt's Furniture in Fort Capel, Kamsack, Melville, and Foam Lake, or online at mattsfurniture.ca.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents the all-new Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Be a part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The all-new Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
We got the 5-pack on this Thursday, rolling into hour 3 here. The Sheriff, Alan Lee's doing his things over there. CNC Production Family. And,
nice.
Yeah, and
They've got a name now.
And Sharky, and you're here.
I know. It's exciting to be here. Thank you.
It's fun. A lot of people driving home. Man, it's getting dark.
It's been
when does it start?
December 21st.
Oh, because then you kind of just, even though it's still, it's like golf season.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's come, and then there's that time that comes really early where the days start getting shorter and you're golfing and you get depressed.
Oh, and you're like, who did this? This is stupid. We should have daylight savings time.
It's just how the earth and the sun and everything works, man. You can't change it.
Oh, I think I can.
You can move it an hour.
I think I can.
Like an hour. It doesn't really matter. So much more to get to. Glen Suitor standing by. We're going to talk the signing of Trevor Harris. Before we forget, I want to give our clutch performer, doing it at 5:08. A lot of you driving home. It's local. For Nick's Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson, Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fent dealer, you can call 781-1077. Talk to all the fine folks at Nick's Service. It is from the Regina Pats Canadians yesterday in a 5-0 win over the Notre Dame Hounds. First ever AAA midget U18 hat trick for Ryan Ulmer. Great kid. Fantastic. Part-time job in the summer at Golf Town if you need any wrenches. Good job, Ryan Ulmer, hat trick, and first ever shutout for Adam Montaigne in net. So
would that be the son of Rob Montaigne?
That is the son of Rob Montaigne.
Nice.
Yeah, so those two fellas.
Two more in your head of your dad. Okay.
Are clutch performers for Nick's Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson, Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fent dealer.
The all-new Sportscage with CFL and Saskatchewan Roughrider legend Glen Suitor is brought to you by Quality Tire. With 9 locations across Saskatchewan, visit qualitytire.ca.
Glen looks relaxed.
All right, yeah, Glen,
he
it's
looks relaxed.
Not much going on this Thursday. Let's start. Let's talk about the who will be punting for the Alouettes next year. You know what? That funny joke. That's what used to happen on the show. They used to go that deep, but no, we're going to go Trevor Harris re-signing with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, as we talked about. For that, no one's really surprised. It was the best play, especially when they said they didn't kick the tires on VA. We got him locked up.
Yeah, and it's an important signing with the, when you're playing musical chairs and they're walking around those chairs and they're sort of disappearing one at a time, and then you start to think, man, if I don't get my chair soon, and I don't mean to say that they were after VA, because as you mentioned, weren't really kicking the tires. They felt like with Trevor, clearly they know that they have a quarterback that is capable of taking them to the championship. Now, and we'll get more into this as we get into late January, but now the priority in protecting Trevor Harris, in that balance in the offense, in looking at free agency and how they can put more great talented people around him, because he is more than capable. I mean, not only on the field in his skill set, and his accuracy, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in CFL history, by the way. But yeah,
true story.
Yeah, but also his processing speed, his quickness in reading defenses. Nothing really surprises him. And now they got to keep him healthy, and that's the most important part at his age, and that's been sort of the issue with him over the last couple of years. Not his fault, happens, but keep him healthy. You've got a quarterback and a starter you can work with. And now, what is going to be available for the next guy? What are you looking at to develop the next guy?
Before we go to that, I want to say, too, now, how do the dominoes fall? That Trevor's like, let's go. Let's roll, boys, one more time. How many of those free agents are like, I'm in, too?
Absolutely. No question. I mean, especially the offensive side of the ball, but on both sides. I mean, ask anybody who had, the VA discussion and what happened with Nathan Rourke. And, I still believe Nathan's going to be a star player in this league and he'll get his game back. But that splitting of the room, if it happened in Vancouver, was what, to your point about the importance of the team believing in the guy you have there. And if you have two guys that can do it, they have to believe in both. I was part of a team that we believed in Tom Burgess and Kent Austin. We believed we could win with both of them. There was no issue about the room and who'd rather play or anything like that. It wasn't there because both handled it well and both were capable of winning. Now they've got Trevor. They'll sign free agents that were maybe on the bubble, wondering what's going to happen at that position. Because those free agents, anybody, in the receiving corps is going to look at this and go, oh, well, we got a guy that can get me the ball now. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, big time.
So what is that? And, Barney hinted to it, what's happened to the Riders then because we get Trevor in play. What does it do to the quarterback free agency situation in the rest of the league, and in particular as it relates to maybe Cody Fajardo?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I mean, first, can Jason Moss, who I'm sure ideally would like to have both there, knowing that Davis Alexander is going to be the guy that's going to, get the keys to the car. And, is Cody going to be okay with that after just recently taking that same team to a championship, as we're watching the highlight of the last drive 2 years ago? So, I think that's going to be sort of a mountain that Moss and Cody Fajardo are going to have to kind of climb together, get a read on that. And if it doesn't work out there, then yeah, what a great add to any team in the league that could bring in Cody Fajardo and say, he's going to be our solid number 2 / quarterback coach. Not that Fajardo is ready to retire or anything, but I could see him as a nice fit on any of these teams, including the Riders. But
no, I don't like that.
I don't think that this is not a landing zone for Cody Fajardo.
You know how Rider fans are.
Yeah,
it'll be Trevor Harris will run onto the field the wrong way, and some people will be saying, "Put in Fajardo."
Yeah,
that's how they are.
That's the longest shot, no question, because of the history of there. Because it wasn't long ago that he was there, and they've sort of moved on from him. I get that, and perception is part of it. Perception can become reality very quickly. So. That would be sort of the last. But I'm just talking about a quarterback room. You go across the league and you put Bo Levi Mitchell and Cody Fajardo in the same quarterback room. Boy, as a coach, I love my chances no matter what happens to the other guy.
Yeah, it's going to be real. I said it earlier. I think it started when I was talking to Dunk at the start of the show. I feel that this is going to be the year where there's guys that aren't going to have a place to play, and then are they going to stay in shape? Are they going to keep chucking down south? Are they going to be waiting for that phone call? Because, yeah, you do need to go 2 quarterbacks deep in this league, maybe even at sometimes 3. Where do you think and how quick do you think we find out anything about Patterson after this, Glenn?
Well, like I said, the dominoes, and you've said the dominoes will fall quickly as everyone sort of in free agency waits for the top guys to get settled out. And then because after the top, let's say 20 guys, and there's a lot of free agents now with 1-year contracts, which is something that the new commissioner can fix, or hopefully will fix. but when your top 20 guys, that are going to get bigger money than normal, when they disappear quickly, then the rest of the dominoes fall. That's when guys go, well, the difference between me moving for 10 grand or staying for less, a little bit less, a home field or a home team discount, things like that come into play. The money's not as big a difference anymore. And my advice to free agents anyway, guys, would be don't make it about the money. Do not make it about the money. Go call Kenny Lawler and ask him how it worked out when he got 1 year with a little bit more money and didn't like his time in Edmonton, really. It was kind of like, okay, he still made some big plays, but it wasn't the same thing for him, and he got his butt back to Winnipeg as quickly as he could.
So on that free agent conversation, and again, I agree with you, the money's only part of it. And there's so many other elements to it, including coaching staff and the rest of the room. Who, besides quarterbacks, and we've beat that to death today. I think we've talked about every quarterback back up and forward. Who else is going to be the free agent that somebody's going to look to, like we had with the running back that the Rider Ouellette when they signed them last year? Who's going to be the free agent that everybody looks to?
Yeah, there's a few out there, and I haven't gone through the whole list, but I did see Matthew Betts is on it. I think right now, whether it's free agency or the draft, every year I'm in this game, I feel more and more like if you don't have a good line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively, it's going to be an uphill battle. You can still pull it off, but it is going to be an uphill battle. You don't win 9 out of your last 10 if you don't have a great offensive line. You don't. And it's not sexy to talk about. But, those guys will tell you they even find each other when they're in the news or in the media. So, they understand it too. But I just think the offensive and defensive lines is the priority every single year, no matter who your quarterback or your receivers are. If you're going to overspend there. Do not overspend on a receiver or a QB or a linebacker.
It's like the controller or the accountant. Super important, but it's not the sexy position.
You don't see him so much, but he's
not,
critical.
Right?
He's critical. She, they, them.
Yeah. Very critical.
Yeah.
JC Sherritt to Edmonton. We talked about it, I don't know, last week. You and I talked about it as well. That was a given, right?
Yeah, great fit. And, this is where we get to see, a couple of brand new coaches in the league, and Mark Killam, here with Buck Pierce, who I watched his in Vancouver with his press conference, and he was asked about, it sounds like he's going to be a play caller, by the way, that's just a little add-on, but Mark Killam wants to put together a young, dynamic, ready to evolve and buy into his system type of coaching staffs, and that's a great fit. JC Sherritt's got a great reputation, and with Mark Killam stepping in and bringing in sort of a new attitude with Ed Hervey understanding the history of the game and the history of Edmonton football, and then Killam, who has been the front runner for how many years now, guys? 8 years? I think it's been 8 years. Every off season for the last 8 years, Mark Killam has been the number one prospect for a new head coaching job, and so finally he's got it. And you see Matt Dunnigan on that mural right behind there.
Doesn't it kind of have a little bit of a taste of what we did last year in Saski with Mace rallying the troops, all these guys coming in, let's run through the wall for them. And then now it's like Edmonton kind of saw that brand, saw that, and was like,
that works.
Copy. Hey,
yeah,
best things in the world have been copied.
Exactly.
Let's kind of get that feel going here. And they have so many ties to that city.
Yeah, and JC Sherritt does as a former Edmonton Eskimo back in the day. And they've got a great tradition of linebackers and having that sort of edge and attitude that Ed Hervey played with, that now is going to trickle down through the coaching staff. So you're absolutely right. And Corey Mace is a good example of it. His approach and the staff that he brought in, making sure that, taking a chance in some ways on Mark Mueller taking the reins as a OC, and look at how positive that was. I mean, Trevor Harris, he just asked Trevor Harris about his offensive coordinator last year. He will go on for 20 minutes about how much he loves him. And Trevor Harris has had many. So, and very quickly, Mark is already being talked about as maybe the next head coach down the road here in the next couple of years.
Yeah, we don't, let's hold off on that.
I think that's a little early.
Change his number.
Yeah.
Need a number change. Forget that 639 area code, whatever the other Saski area.
Nobody even uses it. Yeah.
Need him around here for a while. What do you think is the next, because it's been for 2 weeks now, almost 3 weeks, something happening almost every other day in the CFL. What's the next domino, to fall when it comes to big news in the league? Is it the commish? Is it another maybe coaching move? Is it a quarterback thing? What do you think?
Well, I think now you're going to see a lot of these staffs getting, filled out, like whether it be assistant coaches and stuff, but those won't be the biggest news. The biggest news, and it has been a pretty tight vault. In Seinfeld, when they're in the vault, you're in the vault. It's in the vault, Jerry. When that
you know what the comb is, as Elaine says, it's the schnapps. It's a great episode.
Yeah. So, I think those are all important topics to discuss when they come up. But the biggest one is going to be the commissioner. And as of right now, it's been pretty tight-lipped. I mean, you're not hearing a lot of rumors, not a lot of names flying around. Now, Randy Ambrosie has said it's sort of an arrangement here, which is different than I think any other year. If you go back to Larry Smith and John Tory and Mike Lisco, and the list goes on in recent memory of commissioners, they were either let go where they had to leave at the end of the season, or they stepped aside, they stepped down at the end of a season, and the replacement and the discussions on replacement people came up right after that. So that's a little different than this. This is Randy Ambrosie said, I'm going to continue to run the league and run the office until you find a new guy. And that probably allows the board of governors and the owners to sit there and go, well, look, we got Christmas. We get through Christmas and New Year's, the holiday season.
Festivus.
And then what was it? The feats of strength? The feats of, no.
Yeah, feats of strength. Yeah. Airing of grievances.
Isn't that the 23rd? Isn't the 23rd Festivus?
Yeah.
Yes.
And this guy's from the betting track come over. And Kramer brings them. This is going sideways here.
Okay, Glenn, you don't have any names you're going to leave out. You're going to leave for us to.
I don't, guys, because I've actually, when Barney and I talked on Tuesday, we kind of teased that, let's look into the new commissioner. What are the names out there? What are people talking about? I made a few calls, and honestly, this may be the first time in the history of Canadian football that the Board of Governors are actually keeping tight-lipped and keeping a secret. I just...
You know what I'm getting out of that?
Because they know the all-new Sportscage is out there blabbing about
Glenn,
everything.
I'm getting out of there that's you. That you're in line to be the next commissioner.
I was gonna.
That's why you're playing the cards like this. You're the name.
I was gonna say maybe they got a couple of candidates that came in that they had no idea, and it's making it really, really.
And
tough.
one of them sitting there. Yeah.
Well, here's the interesting thing to me, guys, is because if you go back into recent history, like early 90s, and we're talking about now names like Jeffrey Orridge and Tom Wright and Mike Lisco and John Tory, who's an interim commissioner for a while, and then even back to Mark Cohen in there, who did some really good things. Mark Cohen increased the TV numbers, the TV contract, and some investment in stadiums happened during his reign. So there was some good things that happened along the way. But the question comes up with this new commissioner is, what's the priority? And we've talked about marketers. Mike Lisco was supposed to be a dynamic marketer. We talked about guys that have been in the corporate world like Mark Cohen and Tom Wright. And not only the corporate world, but sports corporations like Adidas and Reebok and UFC. These guys all had backgrounds in marketing and backgrounds in the corporate side of sports business. And that clearly, and what their resume said, was the priority. And we've gone through 7 or 8 of them now. Some have done some decent things. Ambrosie did a couple of very good things, but I think the closest to having someone understand what makes the game great, and then therefore, because they know that, then can take it and sell it, so that they can command an understanding of the Canadiana of it, that they can walk into a corporation and talk about the Canadian. One of the great things that hockey has done is with that whole coffee, amateur hockey marketing scheme, and so that they can change perception, especially in the big markets. The messaging, the understanding, doesn't have to be a former player necessarily, but the messaging and the understanding of what makes Canadian football great, to me, has got to be the priority. You can hire a corporate assistant. You can hire legal help if you need it somewhere down the road. By the way, Jeffrey Orridge, who I would put at the bottom of the list I just mentioned.
Yep.
Jeffrey Orridge was a Harvard law grad. An American who didn't really know what made our game great, and therefore couldn't sell it, and therefore couldn't grow and change the perception of it in the big cities.
Is the 10th franchise still in the mix? Is that still a priority for the CFL to get that 10th franchise?
Quebec City.
Whether it's Quebec City or the Maritimes.
I think it has to be. It absolutely has to be. But rather than do it right now, where we're seeing tremendous growth over the last 2 or 3 years, both financially, and the strength in ownership, the fan engagement, all of that, the arrows are up. Rather than take that right now into, Quebec City or Halifax, let's continue to build and change the perception in some of the bigger cities. Let's continue to build that young fan base so that they come to us, because it won't take long with this type of trend. It won't take long. It'll take 5 to 7 years with constant communication in the building of a new stadium and what that can do in those two hubs, or building on Laval to make that a pro stadium. And, and then by that time, the growth will be there. The perception will have changed. But you can't do that in 2 or 3 years. You've got to do that in 7 to 10. And then they come to you and say, we want in. We want to be part of the club. And that's where I think you'll see that 10th franchise.
You're planting seeds. You're building the brand.
Listen to you.
Build it, and then Sacramento will come back.
The Sacramento gold miners will return.
Let me add this, because I know you're an NFL fan as well. Like, you think back to Pete Rozelle. Pete Rozelle was maybe the best commissioner in pro sports, in any sport. And his big influence was in changing the perception of the NFL. The NFL at that time had 12 teams. And he in his reign changed that to 28. Now that's not possible in Canada, but another one is. A 10th is. And what he did too was talk about the presentation and understanding the game. His background in school was marketing, was PR and marketing. And he gets in there for 30 years, and what does he create? He creates Monday Night Football. And then he creates competition with networks on a TV deal that has now gone into the billions of dollars all those years later. Pete Rozelle was a great example of, I think, what we need to be looking for in the next commission.
And when our kids talk about, and grandkids, about Roger Goodell, it'll go down, because that's really the gambling era, which really took it off. And then they were kind of like, no, gambling, bad. And now they've embraced it, and it's like, yeah, you can't win that battle. Okay, Glenn, we got to get to some hockey talk here. Always a pleasure. Have a fantastic... Hey, my wife and kids were at a shoe store in Vancouver. They sent me a picture. If you can go there and grab any credit cards before they get out. They're there for the Taylor Swift concert.
Oh, are they? They're going
to
Swift.
Oh, yeah. They're in the economy there. They're helping the economy in Vancouver this weekend.
Well, I just found out that on the secondary market, you're not going to want to hear this, but a Taylor Swift sweatshirt is going for like $500. A sweatshirt. So
yeah.
Okay.
I got
Good
some
for them.
I got some people in Butcherias right now bringing me a couple of Taylor Swift ponchos back for her. Here, this is one of a kind. This is what you got. Talk to you next week, buddy. See
you, Glenn.
Press coverage of the Glen Suitor for Quality Tire, 9 locations across Saskatchewan, qualitytire.ca.
Before we go to commercial, and we talk about that 10th team, and we mentioned 2 places, but I think the place that might rise to the occasion that nobody suspects is the Okanagan.
Nope.
Why not?
Debated that. It's not football country. Okanagan people want to have fake parts of their body, ride fancy cars, shirt unbuttoned way too deep. They want to live. They want Beverly Hills. They don't care about Canadian football there. They don't.
You don't think it'll happen?
And to get 30,000 people in there, lots of money there, tons of money, and it is so bloody hot that you mean to tell me on a Friday night
they're going to skip the lake
when
and
it's
go to
35 degrees. Exact. Yeah. Mama just bought a brand new bikini from Versace, and they're on their surf boat that's worth $300,000.
I'm throwing out the idea.
No, we're going to watch the Argos play.
Crushed me. You've crushed me like a bug.
Hey, there's a reason my name's in the mix. It's Quebec or bust.
You think so, eh?
Instant rivalry.
I don't disagree with that part.
Great city. Never been. Want to go.
Yeah,
it's just the stadium thing, and I think they got to figure out a way to grease out that. They got to figure out a way to incorporate Laval and what's his name there, but that's the tricky thing, and you got to figure it like a bait and switch. It's the all new Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com.
We're going to bait and switch.
The Harvard Media Holiday Auction is December 11th to 16th. It's the perfect time to get that Christmas shopping done.
Hi, Cody, Gloria, 620 CKRM Mornings. And here are some great items that'll be on our Harvard Media Holiday Auction. Jewelry and piercing gift cards valued at $100. Singing lessons. Tons of restaurant gift cards. Annual gym memberships. Home improvement gift cards valued at $500 and more.
The Harvard Media Holiday Auction is December 11th to 16th. Visit harvardmediaauctions.com for all the details.
620 CKRM on location.
Well, good afternoon. It's Cody Glyden broadcasting from the Yorkton Exhibition Cash Lottery, and we're slowly and surely getting to the deadline. It's going to be 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So we are coming up here on about 24 and a half hours to get your ticket, all right? And you don't want to miss out. I know you've been thinking about it. You've been going, yeah, I know what I'd like to do with my $100,000. I'm going to do it for this, or I'm going to use it for that. I'm going to help the kids out. I'm going to help pay off the kids' debt. Maybe your kids are in university or college and dealing with student loans. $100,000 would certainly clear up that's for sure. But you got to have a ticket on Monday. 10 draws of $500, 14 draws of $1,000, that $100,000 cash draw, and the 50-50 at 1-866-783-4800, 1-866-783-4800.
This is the sound of a bone breaking, and another hero bites it in the bathroom. This could have been avoided with a sleek, no-barrier shower or walk-in tub installed by Logic Bath Solutions. Now, cold sponge baths at the hospital from an overworked nurse.
Gentle.
Do this. Have Team Logic make your bathroom work for you now, or wear the cast for 6 months.
Why is it so itchy?
Call Vern at Logic Bath Solutions, 306-591-3591.
Grow bold with the Fendt Ideal 10 Combine, available at Nick's Service. The Fendt Ideal 10 offers 790 horsepower and features the same Fendt ID engine speed concept made popular in the lineup of tractors. This means maximum horsepower and torque are achieved at lower RPMs, giving you tremendous fuel efficiency. With a 485-bushel grain tank capable of unloading at 6 bushels per second, turn downtime into dust with the Fendt Ideal 10 Combine. See one today at Nick's Service in Emerald Park.
Hun, I'm starving. What do we have to eat?
Avoid the annoyed.
Western pizza. I really don't feel like cooking today.
Avoid the annoyed.
Western pizza.
I want lasagna.
I was thinking Caesar salad and garlic bread.
I had my heart set on chicken wings.
Avoid the annoyed.
Western pizza.
Avoid the annoyed with Western Pizza. Big on toppings, big on taste. Dine in or take out. Order today.
Western pizza.
We want your business on board for the Harvard Media online auction. It's easy. All you've got to do is provide items like gift cards, experiences, services, or whatever cool product you have. And in exchange, we'll give you a world-class marketing campaign. No entry fee or cash outlay. Just a good old trade deal. That hammer could be coming down for you. Just hit up harvardmedia.com and join in on all the excitement. Terms and conditions apply.
The all-new Sports Cage continues. You can watch our live stream at sportscage.com and always on the radio. Saskatchewan's voice for local sports, 620 CKRM.
Oh, because I'm doing 3 things at once.
Well, try to focus, for God's sake.
No, save that for
Dear
another
Lord.
show. We're not going down that rabbit hole again. Book your holiday party.
Have we been down that rabbit hole?
At the Canadian Brew House, your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Book now in store. 2 locations in Regina, 1 in Moose Jaw, or at the CanadianBrewHouse.com. We're shifting to hockey.
All right.
We did our clutch performers.
I'll follow along.
Earlier this hour, Regina Pats Canadians, 5-0 win last night over Notre Dame. First ever hat trick for Ryan Ulmer and first ever shutout for Adam Montana net. SJ was no games tonight. WHL, no games. How about the Pats? Do we have that video?
Big win?
Pats, 5-3 win over Vancouver. They were outshot 41-26. Kelton Pine, first star, 38 saves. First, if you're watching the stream, here it is. First ever WHL goal.
Wall, as a pass comes in front for Eglund, and he scores. 5-hole.
Jace Eglund. And I think Dante might have been, and then he was like, that's his first goal. Or else Dante would have really got excited and would have overmodulated the mics, as the texts say, and all that. But first ever goal there. Also, Connor Bear, 2 assists and a +4 in the win yesterday. They're back in action tomorrow. The Blades lost 5-4 in a shootout to Dave Strush's Red Deer Rebels. And Medicine Hat shades Swift Current 4-3. That would have been a good game.
That would have been a good game. I like what Alan Miller's doing. I like what he's doing. He's building that team with some young guys. I know everybody's kind of down on that some guys are gone, but I like what he's doing.
Maddox Schultz.
Yes.
Try and get that guy. Senior hockey report comes up tomorrow for Future Ford in Melville and coolbet.co. Yesterday, senior hockey, Davidson 6-5 over Loreburn in the Sask Valley. Thanks to those guys that are sending in those scores, because it's a lot to keep up with all the scores in the senior loop. So be our guest. Okay, let's go to the Four Nations Cup.
Okay.
Canada's roster. We're in Canada. Let's go Canada first.
Okay.
Canada's roster is... I'm pivoting.
Oh.
Change on the fly, in the huddle, calling an audible.
Okay. Still didn't know the first play, but anyway.
If you're watching the stream, throw the graphic up. You just run go routes all day. You're not too smart. Just run go routes. If Russia was in this tournament, I came up with a mock team of the former Soviet Union. Look at the names on this list.
That's a really small screen I'm looking at. Okay.
How about that? Sure.
Okay.
Nikita Kucherov, Kirill Kaprizov, Artem Panarin,
Artemi
Panarin. I call him Artem. We're boys. Alex Ovechkin, Svechnikov, Malkin, Buchnevich, Tarasenko, Nichushkin, Kuzmenko, Barbasev, Kochev.
Pretty good set of forwards.
That's forwards.
That's not a lie.
Sergachev on the back end. Provorov on the back end. Zub on the back end. Orlov on the back end. Zadorov on the back end. Labushkin. I forgot about a lot of these guys.
So did I. Forgot about Labushkin.
Gavrikov as a 7th, even if you want to throw him in there. There are a few liabilities there, like Oleg Tevernovsky style, but they are going to be good. And then in goal, I even put 4 of them. They'd be allowed to... Putin would let him fight to take
Putin
4
would
goalies.
have all 4 of them. He may not have Shesterkin there based on the way the Rangers are playing.
We take 4 goalies. You look either way. Andrei Vasilevsky, Igor Shesterkin, Sergei Bobrovsky, Ilya Sorokin.
It's quite a lineup.
If you're watching the stream, you see it there. Like, that is a team. Kucherov... Like, Kuzmenko, I forgot he was even Russian.
I forgot he was playing in the league.
It's Calgary Flame.
I know. I haven't been paying much attention to him. My apologies.
Fantastic job on this graphic,
yes,
Curtis.
Well done, Curtis. Well done.
You know who my favorite player is on this team? And I hammer him all the time to get at least a point.
Malkin.
Ivan Barbashev.
Really?
He is a good player, man. Russian tank. Skate hard. What, are you going to chime in?
What, me? Yeah.
Do you see Ovechkin skating?
Yeah. Breaks his leg and 2 weeks later is on the ice. What is up with that?
Russian machine, man.
He is. I think their defense is suspect. I do.
Why? Have you played with these guys? Have you scouted them? What's wrong?
Their first 4 are good.
Sergachev's a warrior.
He is.
Zadorov's
a beast, but
long reach guy.
Long reach. This is going to be different than the NHL hockey. This is going to be super fast, right? The puck control is going to be a huge deal. It's going to be very different than watching your standard NHL hockey game. So, see how it turns out.
If you have any comments on this on anything on the Four Nations, 936-6262.
Text him.
Text it. Call in if you want.
Ooh, we're taking calls now.
I want to know where people stand on this. And Canada. Toll free. We got a toll-free number. They just sent it to me. We got minutes available. 866-767-0620.
I think it's too early to call. And when I say that is no. But what I'm saying is, we're still 8 weeks till this tournament takes place, right? It's the first part of February. There's still a lot of moving parts in terms of players who are going to be healthy and not healthy at that time. Like Stone's on the Canadian team. Is he going to be there? Is he going to be healthy at that time?
He wants to play. He'll be there.
Well, sure, he wants to play, but he's pretty banged up.
He's one of those smart guys. He's like the senior guy that knows he's going to Mexico in a couple weeks. Stick to the outside. Don't get into the grease. No,
don't start anything.
I'm not going to Mexico under the cast.
With a black eye.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to float up here. Ooh, I missed that block shot.
Drew Doughty's out. I mean, I think he would have been a shoo-in to play.
I don't think he would have been a shoo-in. I would have taken him.
I would have taken him. But there's two guys in the American. JT Miller's on the American team. Isn't he having some personal time right now for whatever the cause might be? And Chris Kreider's on there? They took Chris Kreider?
Have you played with him?
Neither of you. Okay, but
no, I think everybody is funny. Everybody, when it came out yesterday, they're like, "Oh, the Americans are good." It's like, okay, where you been for the last 20 years?
It didn't get good overnight,
and they're big.
They are. They're
up
big
front.
Yeah,
like they're going to be a load, and I think that's where Canada's defense
was designed for that. That's the choice of Parenko. That's the choice of Parenko. Is to play a team like the Americans.
I don't know enough about Travis Sanheim.
Neither do I. I got to do some look on him and Konechny there. Travis Konechny?
Konechny.
Yeah, I got to do some work on them because I don't have enough details on those two either. But that's exactly what I thought when I heard Parayko. I was like, he's playing against the Americans. And he plays big minutes in St. Louis. Like, this isn't a guy that's a 5-6 pair in St. Louis.
Heavy.
He plays a lot of minutes, plays heavy minutes, plays PK, plays their power play. Like, this is a guy that, you might not have looked at that way, but he deserves to be there.
Roscoe, he's not chiming in on the Four Nations Cup, but Roscoe, man, what are you doing this afternoon?
What is he?
He just sent a random picture in of his backyard. Sharky used the word focus. Do you know what it stands for?
Yeah.
Man, I'm
not sure what we're after there with the backyard photo.
Hey.
Was that attached to the backyard photo, that comment?
Not all mushrooms are good, Roscoe. I've no idea. You're gonna have to clarify that, Roscoe. Send us in, bud. I don't know. Okay. Sorelli is a guy that people go, how does he make the team? Right? Because you don't watch him play enough.
I did have to go and look for him. I did.
Hagel, John Cooper.
Cooper took him because he's got a spot for him. Yeah.
Politics. We're getting into minor hockey politics here. No, he just made the team because he knows the coach.
In some respects he did, right? He knows what Hagel can do and where he can put him and who he can put him with. I think that's a gimme.
Love Sam Reinhart, especially when we play the Americans.
Oh, I mean, there's a guy that's truly scoring goals at a pace that others aren't right now. That's an easy move to add him.
And then the thing is, I don't have the rest of the teams up here, but I don't know if anybody's gone through and what teams are going in this saying way too heavy and what teams are going in this really unscathed, that man hours playing over those 2 weeks is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear where you're going.
Like, what teams have, like the Oilers? Who did the Oilers have somebody on Sweden as well?
Yeah, Ekholm. Ekholm's playing for Sweden.
Ekholm?
Yeah.
Is there two Swedes?
They got a...
Because what's his name that's hurt? Is he on the roster?
Yeah, they got another guy. Yeah, Nyquist? They got two Swedes. Yeah. They get Edmonton's got two Swedes going and McDavid. Yeah.
So, you get what I'm saying, though?
No, I hear you. Dallas has got a lot in the mix.
Dallas has got a lot in the mix.
Yeah, they do. They get a lot of bodies out there. The Rangers...
Rangers have a lot in the mixer.
Yeah.
I don't know about Los Angeles. I'm trying to think on the Los Angeles front.
It would all be the other three. I don't think there's anybody from Canada playing for LA. I can't read that. I can't read that screen. No.
You can't read the screen. We need to get one of those big billboards when we do this stuff in here for Sharky.
Everybody's going to comment on who's not there.
Bedard.
Bedard's not there, but he's also 19.
And he's kind of pouty pants. He's got bad body language. He's struggling. And I feel that a lot... Okay, this is... How much time do we have here? This is like a lot of people are saying, how did that Perek not getting invited to the World Junior? There was word that he was a little bit of a attitude problem. And hey, we're in Regina. If you want to come at me, come at me.
Yep.
But they might be sending a message. Pete Anholt, Al Murray, Sasky gentlemen.
Yeah.
Not going to mess around. They don't want any of that. They'd rather take a Prairie Boy over that. So I think with Bedard, let's go to break on this. I think Bedard, they're maybe sending a message. Hey, you want to come to Italy? You got to play better. Got to have better attitude. Maybe. I could be reading too much into it.
You might be. Because I think he's a shoe-in for Italy by that point. Right?
Get that sponsored by a shoe company.
Yeah. Do we know
Sharky Shoe-in. It's all new Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM on location.
Hi there, it's Cody Glyden broadcasting from the Yorkton Exhibition Cash Lottery. What a wonderful day it has been. If you've bought your ticket, well, we thank you very much. Where's the money going to go this year? Is it going to go to Weyburn? Is this $100,000 grand prize going to go to Estevan? Maybe it's going to find its way over to Pence. Maybe it's going to be up in the Lumsden area or up into Craven. Hard to say. Hopefully it'll go into your bank account, though. That's where it's going to feel most at home, right? $100,000. That could be a phone call that you're going to get on Monday. They love making those types of phone calls here at the Yorkton Exhibition, and I know you love receiving those types of phone calls where you just won $100,000. Tickets $100 each, a 3-pack for $250, 1-866-783-4800, or online, YorktonExhibition.com.
It's here, the year-end clear-out sale. Check out this GM-certified pre-owned low-mileage 2024 GMC Terrain Elevation with all-wheel drive and heated seats and a sharp black wheel package. We have over 40 to choose from, starting from $31,995 plus taxes. Rates as low as 4.99% for 24 months OAC, and financing is available on all GM-certified pre-owned vehicles. Plus roadside assistance and a 150-plus point inspection. It's the year-end clear-out sale on certified pre-owned vehicles at the Capital Auto Mall on the corner of Pasqua and Rochdale in Regina.
Stock number 245638.
This is Kathy Ingram, Director of Finance and Development for Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. And as Christmas approaches, we desperately need your help. The need for our programs and the cost of our programs has increased dramatically. And now with the postal strike, our financial donations have decreased as well. This holiday season, please help us help those in need. Donate online at shrmsk.com, via phone at 306-543-2475, or in person at 1650 Angus Street, Regina. Thank you.
Hey, how are we getting home tonight? Oh, we've got options. Cool. What options? We can hire a ride. Or call my sister. Yeah. We can catch a ride with the band. Okay. Designated driver. Grab a bus. You see? Lots of options.
The only option is to find a safe ride. How you do it is up to you. From everyone at SGI, take care out there.
Pizza! Where's it from?
Kids, it's not delivery, it's...
No, it's definitely delivery. It's from Western Pizza. Mama's had a long day, so she ordered online, poured a glass of Happy, put her feet up, and waited for the doorbell. There's also Caesar salad, lasagna, chicken wings. Oh, I got lots, so we can have the leftovers tomorrow and the next day. Western Pizza. Big on toppings, big on taste, big on convenience. Get it delivered today.
Your Regina Pats are celebrating the season at the Brandt Center all December long with epic matchups, events, and giveaways. Bring the Pats home with the calendar giveaway at the CIBC Christmas game on the 13th. Share the love at the Global News Teddy Bear Toss on the 14th. And get the chance to bring home an exclusive jersey and dive into the Ninja Turtle madness at Remax Nickelodeon Night on the 28th. See the full promotional lineup and get your tickets at reginapats.com.
Welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Get social with us. Follow us on X at Sports Cage. Watch our video stream at sportscage.com and always on the radio at 620 CKRM.
If you're on Twitter or X, thanks to Curtis again for making the graphic, and then thanks to Colson for he just shot it up there. The makeshift, no, what should we call it? The pseudo? No.
Proposed.
Alleged.
Alleged. I like that. Alleged.
Russian hockey team, if they were in the Four Nations Cup. Out on the Capitol Ford Western Pizza hotline?
Every sponsor hotline.
Western Pizza, yeah. $25 gift card. That's stupid me. Who do we got? Lawrence from Saskatoon. He's listening into the discussion. Okay, where do you land on this Four Nations Cup? Let's start with Canada, Lawrence. What do you think?
Well, they're stacked. Okay, absolutely stacked. Their offense, I mean, is deadly. If you were gonna pick the top three players in the world right now, wouldn't it be Makar, McDavid, and McKinnon? I mean, we have all three, right? So, I mean, you could look at those three, and that's really, you can fill in everybody else. You and me, Barney, could probably play.
Wow. I just want to take warm-up. So I just want to, with my lid off.
Just go for a twirl.
Just a helmet, good tunes.
Yeah. It's stacked.
What about goaltending? I don't think we should be as worried as everyone's making it out. We have what was it? Oh, there's 13 Stanley Cup winners on Canada.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yeah,
and there's like 3 from the Americans.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
And if you, I was looking something up.
Stat
the last
guy.
10 Stanley Cup goalies, they've been in the Russian or Canadian goalies, and there's no Russia in the tournament. So that tells you there.
Okay, I like that. Great stat.
So do you think it's just power play maybe that we get to see McDavid and McKinnon on the ice at the same time?
It's interesting you brought that up, Barney, because I was also listening to some of the round table a few days ago, and Elliot Friedman, usually in NHL games it's 90 seconds, but this is 2 minutes and 30 seconds for commercials.
Yes, it is. That's another tidbit.
So you're going to get these guys out there. John Cooper plays his best players all the time, so I would say those guys are going to be 25 minutes a game. And you got that Montreal Saturday night, USA Canada. Like, wow, it's going to blow the roof off there. Every place in North America, like, awesome.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting. Interesting you see that. I don't. One thing I don't picture in this tournament is a bunch of power plays. I don't picture that. No, I don't. I don't picture that there's going to be a bunch
system.
Yeah, they're going back to 2 linesmen only.
Take a penalty, right?
Yeah, but who's going to
want to take penalties?
Oh, the Canada USA game is going to get greasy. We got a minute and 20 seconds.
All right.
Okay, wouldn't you rather see potentially a Tom Wilson instead of the Seth Jarvis? The Seth Jarvis thing, he's 22. Yeah, I get it. You're looking for the Olympics, but I mean, who knows? We might get hit by a bus tomorrow and not be in that. Tom Wilson is the guy, I think. There, he's nasty and he brings it, right?
Did you hear this? Did you hear the story on Jarvis? It's something like he got cut from the World Junior team a few years ago, and he made this team. Everybody that made that World Junior team's not on this team.
That's a cool story.
A lot of cool stories coming up. Okay, Lawrence, we're up against the clock. I totally appreciate your call.
Thanks, Barney.
Right on.
Cheers, man.
A lot of Lawrence from Saskatoon. He's a beauty. And then the other thing, did you catch did I tell you the Finland thing?
Yes.
Like they only have 8 defensemen in the NHL, and 7 of them have to go.
Better hope nobody gets hurt.
They got to go AHL, I guess.
I can't imagine they're taking anybody from the home country.
Go back, listen to anything you missed. The Trevor Harris signing. We had Justin Dunk. We had Arash Madani. We had Greg Millen in today. Glen Suitor, a lot of fun.
Brett Kissel
playing tonight at the casino. There was 15 pairs of tickets left when he was in here at 3:30.
There isn't now again.
And then he's playing Danceland sold out in Manitou Beach. Yeah. That'll be a gooder.
That'll be kick up
then
your
to
heels night.
Yorkton, the Garlic Belt, and then he's over to the Melfort region. Should told him to go to the water slides at Northern Lights Palace.
I think the water slides are pretty good in Yorkton.
And then he's going up to Paradise for a show.
What? Paradise Hill?
PA.
Oh, Paradise.
Can't smell paradise without PA. It's the All New Sportscage. We're back tomorrow. I'll be with DA. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you in 21 hours.
620 CKRM on location.
Well, thanks very much, guys. Cody Glyden broadcasting from the Yorkton Exhibition $100,000 cash lottery. Now, if you're coming to Yorkton tomorrow, why not stop on by the Gallagher Center here? They got a wonderful restaurant here. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. Get yourself a ticket into this cash lottery. Just take a look at this unbelievable facility they have here. And hopefully you'll get a phone call on Monday. There's going to be 10 prizes of $500, 14 draws of $1,000. If you win any of those, your name goes right back into the draw drum for a chance to win the $100,000. So if you're really lucky, you might even win more than $100,000. Oh yeah, we love 50-50s in this province too, don't we? There's a 50-50 with this. So you can grab your tickets here at the Gallagher Center at yorktonexhibition.com or by calling toll-free 1-866-783-4800.
This winter, make sure you have tires that are ready to handle the snowy and icy roads and get them at Quality Tire. If you don't have winter tires, this is the time to get them. At 7 degrees Celsius, the rubber on all season tires start to harden in the cold. With winter tires, you'll be able to stop sooner and avoid